All right. Better than sitting, waiting, looking at nothing. Copyright free music from the Chilled Cow channel. Actually, it's from a bunch of channels. He just compiled it. All right, let me pause that. All right. Well, hopefully everybody got the notification and shit. Let me pop this out. you know, some lo-fi metal that's copyright free, I'll play that too. Usually save metal for when I'm working out in the gym. Well, I'm sorry. I think everything from Aerosmith is copyrighted. I'd rather not get some emails. Yeah. I just listen to that shit when I'm doing I'm doing homework. It's actually really good. That's the one thing I can thank not Veckel really. Spoken. I can thank Spoken for linking that channel. He has his uses. Classical music isn't copyrighted. Really? All that shit was copyrighted. I guess I just assumed. Oh, okay. All right. So, say y'all looking at me. Let me screen share the other screen. Man, he looks happy. Oh, what's going on? It's flashing? What's going on? Okay, there we go. Jeez. Man, he looks happy. Doesn't that like the disposition of a happy person? Who wakes up in the morning, he enjoys life. Isn't that what that looks like? Man. Okay. 88 thumbs downs. Man, look at that. That is awesome. You got in my ass last night. That's what some people said. Some people said he was talking mad shit. But I was, man, after that hangout, after we did the Sam's hangout when we were fucking with True and some of the other stupid shit. Like I got tired. I went to sleep. I was gonna watch some Netflix. I should say Hulu with the missus, and I got tired. Well, Sam's gonna re-upload the link with a small edit. I'll tell you why off air. But yeah, video link. The link to this video, to the one that I'm reviewing here, the open answer, it's in the description. I actually remembered to upload it this time and put it in the description. So this should be entertaining, because some people told me some of the stuff that he was saying, and I'm just like, man, that boy is mad. That boy is mad as hell. Let's start it. Uh-oh. I don't think he understands what an open letter is. Do y'all get that feeling? He doesn't know what an open letter is.
Since Tommy likes to have little weird sound effects and shit in his videos, so I said, why not have some copyright-free lo-fi hip-hop? Play that. All right.
Yeah, I'm surprised he spelled my name right.
So, rather than having them sit through the video I just made.
Oh, actually, before I start that, you know what? So let me give you a bit of backstory. If you hadn't watched, I'm pretty sure most of y'all watch my original video, the open letter, because he's going to be playing it. So I said, instead of all the bullshit, let me just cut straight to the chase and try to figure out why the fuck, that these half illiterate buffoons think that they can even, I guess, stand in the shadow of folks who are actually trying to help society and trying to help humanity. Because ultimately, when you step into a field and you are adding to the body of knowledge that is medical science, you are there doing it to help all of humanity, because that then actually helps everybody. So I will say that this is Tommy's response. So Tommy actually did respond to this, and even it was the same Tommy bullshit. But you know what? It gives me a bit of insight. So Tommy's response to my open letter was, "My goal is to turn the lights on. That there's actually a better way to address health than simply going to doctors who know virtually nothing about nutritional healing." I thought that was funny. "And instead will only prescribe toxic meds, which only treat symptoms and virtually never cure or reverse anything. If you like, I can make a video, but then again, that might just contribute to your notion that I haven't accomplished anything in life." So I did make I did make a nod to the fact that he hadn't actually accomplished anything in life, and that was couched within the arena of, if you are dedicating your time and your effort to discussing medical science, nutrition, and you're so upset that people are being poisoned, this, that, and the other, then what you're currently doing in life, if it's not in that direction, then you're wasting your fucking time, because there's no point in sitting and calling at a screen and not actually doing anything to help the problem. So I think that was missed by Tommy here. And he went for having accomplished anything in life. I'm pretty sure he's a very accomplished gardener who hires illegals to do all the work for him. I am fully capable of acknowledging that he's made money off the backs of others. I am referring to his efforts specifically toward the topic that he spends an enormous amount of time talking about. And that's why I even use myself as an example in this video, where I said I am going in the direction of something that impacts me and my family. I'm not just sitting on the internet talking about it. And of course, he seemed to have missed that. So even though I spend 8 to 10 hours every day doing something constructive in regards to making a living, yeah, of course, I just made a reference to you earning money off the backs of others. Okay, and I don't have anything against RSC, Doc Savage, or anyone else personally, nor do I ever say anything about their personal lives or personal practice. No, and I actually mentioned this. The implication here is that RSC is a doctor of internal medicine, Doc Savage being a part of the um, vaccine manufacturing consortium or whatever. He has implied on numerous occasions that in these two arenas, people are being how should I phrase this? There's some malfeasance at play here. And he even says it up here, simply going to doctors who know virtually nothing about nutritional healing, instead only prescribe toxic meds. So if you're knowingly giving something to someone that's toxic, that's just some sort of malfeasance going on there. You can't imply that someone's being poisoned intentionally and that they're not doing anything like that. I'm not sure how Tommy comes to terms with that, but that implies that these two individuals here specifically are part of something nefarious. So maybe I should have articulated that a bit better, but then again, I think it's a comprehension issue with Tommy. So I only talk about the industry as a whole and the particular therapies that are designed to address certain diseases. I make a point to go out of my way not to make it personal, nor am I perfect, not my intention. Well, you shouldn't fucking generalize. By the way, over the last several decades, how many people do you think pharmaceutical companies have killed with their concoctions? And this has nothing to do with any of the points that I've made. Also, how many addicts have they created? Yada, yada, yeah. So, yeah, he's going on his fucking rant about like it. And he somewhat sort of answered my question, and I have somewhat of an insight based on the first few lines. But other than that, I really didn't get certain questions answered. But we'll see if G-Man does a better job. So I wanted to at least acknowledge Tommy gave an immediate response upon this going online. All right.
Turn it down just a little bit. I figured, why not? Tommy likes doing these kind of weird stream of consciousness videos where he expounds upon topics he knows nothing about. G-Man just goes on these tangents about shit from a book that he's not actually read.
And your proof I didn't read it is...
How about this? After doing some thinking and talking to Science Mill and a few others, exchanges. So let me give you a for instance, as my mother says. Give you a scenario. If you're talking to Doc Savage, if you're talking to RSC, you're talking to people who've actually accomplished shit in life. You actually get the chance to talk to people who are doing the things that you're talking about and are supposedly a part of this system.
You see kind of what I'm talking about here. When Tommy responded to what I said, doing something in life, he left off the ass end of what I'm saying right now about actually doing something in life in regards to these topics. So let's see if let's see if G-Man actually addresses this.
That has so much malfeasance in it that it's causing people to die, like literally killing people. Are you hoping to stop them from doing their jobs? Did you think that they're actually harming people? Or are you just trying to raise awareness to deter people to hurt their profit or their bottom line? Because in these exchanges, I'm kind of confused because on the one hand, I see guys saying that there's something wrong with what they're doing professionally, like what these guys are doing in real life, outside of fucking YouTube, outside of any of this. What they're doing is wrong. So, are you willing to act in their stead? Do you want them to stop doing what they're doing so that people will get better? Or what? What exactly are you looking for? Because I keep hearing the shit about purpose and direction.
For those of you who are watching this, I'm going to be responding after he finishes saying everything that he's got to say. And my response will be short, quick, and to the point.
I don't see you guys actually doing anything with your lives because you make this oddly personal. And so I said, well, you know what? Why not be as real as possible? Because a gardener and a guy who stacks barrels for a living aren't going to be changing medical science anytime soon. That's just the reality of it. So, meanwhile, while other people are actually doing things to try and improve humanity, you're sitting and bitching on the internet about stuff that you know nothing about. And when I say nothing, yes, G-Man, that's hyperbole. What do you want to come of these exchanges? Because I think, and this is just my perspective, there's a lot to be gained out of some of these exchanges. I wish 5, 6, I can't even say that actually, 10 years ago, a decade ago, I wish back when I was going to school that I had known Fiona, Scientist Mel, Sam, Doc Savage. I wish I would have known some of them and other people I'm not mentioning, so that would have at least encouraged me to stick with what I originally wanted to do instead of.
Again, I'm just playing this so that you guys can hear what he actually said, so he can't accuse me of misrepresenting him or putting words in his mouth or anything like that. So I want you to hear it come out of his mouth first, and then you know what's going to happen to him afterward.
Yeah, you're gonna not understand a goddamn thing that I've said and make shit up.
It seems as though instead of utilizing the knowledge that some of these people have, you guys are more interested in trying to compete with them at some level. Which a lot of you guys acknowledge already that you can't. There's no way G-Man's ever going to compete with me. That we know that's not going to happen.
Dragnauct, I have seen, I saw, and I kicked your butt. Let's move on.
What does that mean?
And I'm at the lower tier of what you can consider.
Wait, what? He see and he saw and he kicked my what? Hold on. I'm not even sure what he said. Let me turn on the closed caption.
That you can't. There's no way G-Man's ever going to compete with me. That we know that's not going to happen.
Dragnauct, I have seen, I saw, and I kicked your butt. Let's move on.
I seen and I saw and I kicked your butt. What? What the fuck does that even mean? What? When did I must have missed something?
And I'm at the lower tier of what you
I
could
came and I saw and I kicked your. Oh, okay.
spectrum and the skill spectrum of any of these topics.
You talking about
You
the
have
debate?
no knowledge on these topics. You was in my room and you had literally nothing to say.
Bitch, because I was laughing at your dumbass and the shit that scientist Mel was saying. When there's a dude in the room who knows way more than I do, I'm going to cede my time to let him speak. Plus, he is a newcomer and that people have not heard speak live, like very, very rarely. So I understand as someone who's been around the Google tubes for quite some time that I need to allow room for other people to speak. And so I don't need to dominate a room like you. And I think this is one of the interesting highlights, where G-Man has little to no self-awareness, and he actually there's no like circumspection that actually happens within this guy's mind. Like it's all about him. And so for me, I saw this as a great opportunity for Doc because I actually speak to Doc, offline, and he wanted to engage G-Man for the longest time ever since he came across his channel. I'm not going to take up time from this exchange because I want to get one or two words in. And I spoke maybe once every 15 minutes. And other than that, I was over here giggling like a schoolgirl about the shit the scientist Mel was sending me because she was watching it and she thought it was funny. So I have a lot to say about these topics, but it's it's not important that I open my mouth every time I have a thought, and that's called self-control, G-man. It's very important that you learn this thing called self-control. It's what separates little boys from men. And one day when you grow up and your balls drop, you will learn about this self-control firsthand. You'll actually apply it.
Like you literally had no arguments whatsoever. Doc Savage did most of the talking. You did most of the moderating.
How did I moderate?
Your role for that night.
How did I moderate again? When I was silent?
I accept my place there until I've earned the right to go up on those additional tiers, up into the upper echelons to the point that I get some letters behind my name.
So this right here is me acknowledging my place in everything within, at least in my own mind. And so this is how I show humility, because I know that I'm not at that level. And this is me giving an illustration about that whole scheme. So I'm curious as to if he'll actually acknowledge where I've put myself in the whole, scheme of things.
Or in front of whatever, right? But thank you, Vince. I don't need G-Man cheerleaders right now. But time and time again, do you guys refer to people's personal lives and what they're doing? Real talk, all you do is talk about your empiricism's personal life. Real talk, all you do is talk about my personal life, which you're actually going to do in this video where you falsely assume some things about my occupation and what I do and what I know and what I don't know. Stop being a hypocrite and stay consistent on what you're attempting to do right now, so I can put you in your place. And
his voice starting to crack a little bit. So let's talk about that for a second. So I've had this cat True Empiricism tell people that that I was homeless after I got out of the military. I've had him tell people this. What is he? He told people that I've somehow bisexual because I had met a trans woman and I had a really good conversation with her. What has he said about me? He said all kinds of shit about me. He said I don't understand biology, yet I've graduated with the fucking dean's list, and yet I was somehow able to become a fucking biology tutor. I've had this cat talk shit about me no less than 5 fucking years on the internet. But while G-Man's been sucking his dick the entire time, he's somehow missed all that. And so G-Man himself has talked so much shit about what I supposedly can and cannot do. Meanwhile, all I do is bring up the fact that, well, look where the fuck y'all are at in life and look where I'm at. Like you want to have real talk, you stack barrels for a fucking living. Like you literally don't do much other than what a trained fucking monkey does. What the fuck does True? Oh wait, yes, we know what True does. He don't do much. I mean, honestly, truthfully, for those of you who don't know, True's job isn't much better than G-Man's. It requires a bit more technical skill, but not really. So, like, if we want to be real, none of you can hold a fucking candle to any of the people that you actually speak to. And so when you guys make shit personal, you're mad that I will take it a step further and really put a highlight on what you're doing in life. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I have no problem keeping it just right here on the interwebs with the assertions themselves. But you guys can't do that. You guys have to go, especially G-Man, with you threatening to fucking castrate people, you know? Like, come on. I have never said for one time that I am somehow better than everyone else because I don't talk about people's personal lives. I will talk about you like a fucking dog. Everybody knows that. That's part of the reason some people have subscribed to me, actually. But don't sit here and play the victim when you make no effort to control yourself. Don't think that because you're a victim in your mind that I won't put my foot up your ass. And that's why you're getting upset right now, is because I'm being real. You stack fucking barrels for a living, but yet you think you have the audacity to speak to someone who's actually has a good job, who's actually making vaccines to help people. What the fuck can you actually say to this person in real life? Like, literally, what can you really say? So no, I just think it's funny. I think it's hilarious that you think that you have a voice just because you have a YouTube channel. Like, no, not really. People entertain you because you're a fucking sideshow freak. That's about it.
I'm just curious, where do you get off challenging what people are doing in their lives when you're not doing shit? That's kind of what I've always been.
And that's the clean, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not doing nothing. All I'm doing is sitting down in my house is eating Twinkies all day and watching TV.
He doesn't absolutely understand hyperbole.
According to this person here online.
And pondering and talking about with people just on the phone. You're not actually doing anything to help you. You're not, and when I say doing anything, sitting on the internet making videos is not doing something.
That is a lie. I'll explain why later.
Let me really expound upon that. And my mods in the chat, if people are getting out of pocket, I'll put on the fucking G-Man moderation. It is what it is.
Now, I do want to say this. The atheists know they can't deal with what I've been saying about chemotherapy and what I've been saying about treating chemotherapy. So now they're resorting to appealing to emotion. My mom is in the chat. He says, Dragnauct, you're going to learn really soon, Dragnauct, in these days, that you need to keep you and only you making these YouTube videos.
I think it does sound like I said mom. I probably should have enunciated a bit better. But even if he thought I said mom, why would, if we're talking about moderating the chat, I mean, the context there is moderator. Like, it's context clues. It's fucking like this is oh my God. This kind of tells you he has like no ability to actually pick up on shit. Like, this is funny, dude. I'm talking about people getting out of pocket in the chat. Now, there's a word, G-Man, that we use for people that control chats. They're called moderators. And for short, we call them mods. Okay? If you thought I said mom, that's fine. But then there's the whole rest of that sentence that leans towards another word that kind of sounds like that. So if you go back and listen to what I just fucking said, you hear me talking about, what does my mother have to do with the chat? What does she have to do with people getting out of pocket? Like, you don't know what these fallacies are. Quit mentioning fallacies, G-Man. Just quit. Just stop. Like, it's painful to listen to you try and mention these fallacies because you obviously don't fucking read. But oh man. Oh Lord, this dude.
You're gonna find out why Brett Keane gets so angry when people talk about his family.
Yeah.
Keep yourself and only you online, and we will deal with your line of argumentation. Take my advice, or you're going to learn the hard way.
But what I keep hearing is that RSC, Doc Savage, and to a lesser degree, CRISPR, are all a part of some system to either commit like mass genocide, to hurt children, and all kinds of just crazy shit.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's watching this, this is me and Tommy Hall. 2 people out of 7 billion people on the planet. This is just G-Man and Tommy Hall.
Yes, I talk about
Dragnauct.
2 people.
Hilarious.
I am singling out 2 people that I engage with.
That over and over and over again. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly are you guys doing to prevent this, and what are these exchanges supposed to do? So, Vincent, if Uncle Sam Thicky keeps commenting, ban all his fucking accounts. I don't mind him commenting and joking and shit, but he's here clearly to be an antagonist. So just actually ban his ass.
Yeah, you definitely don't do that on my YouTube channel, Dragnauct. When you're able to leave comments, you definitely are not an antagonist. You definitely don't troll my YouTube channel. Oh yeah, and all the people that you hang out with, you know that person Fiona that you wish you knew since you was a kid. I can't wait till this video is over.
Every Thicky account that comes up, just ban them. All of them, all 50,000. Anyway. So that's what I'm curious about. I'm curious because it doesn't seem that you guys are too interested in actually trying to go and go into these fields yourself and do what needs to be done to help people. You're not doing that.
And that's really interesting what you're telling me I'm not doing, Dragnauct. You seem to know a lot about my personal life without presenting a drop of evidence on your channel. You just assume things, and because you're assuming it's true, huh? Okay, I understand the rules now.
Well, sure. Yeah, let's see. Okay. If you've not made mention that you're actually pursuing any degree or anything within these fields, the majority of your waking hours are spent online or at your place, your resident, or excuse me, not your, I can't even say that, your workplace, and then at night you're at your place, I can surmise that you're not actually, the classes that you would need to take require labs, because I actually take said classes. That doesn't leave much time for you to actually attend. So I can use a little bit of deductive reasoning here, just a little bit, to determine that you're probably not in school for any of the things that you're actually talking about. So, I mean, again, if you want to hear my thought process behind that, that's cool. You can pretend like you're not, but it's fine. It's perfectly cool that you're not actually doing shit in line with the things that you're talking about. But don't pretend like people don't put 2 and 2 together. Like, you guess about shit all the time. You may be right sometimes, you may be wrong, but don't think that just because you haven't overtly said something that people can't draw conclusions. It's very like the GB. I think a part of the issue with some of you guys that you guys think that everyone is as dumb as you are. Like, that's probably, if you and Tommy have one fatal flaw that you guys share, is that you think that we've all fell down like 5 flights of stairs and we're just as fucking brain dead as y'all. Like, that's hilarious. It's really hilarious. But what you do in life actually shows that there's a cap to your abilities, there's a cap to your knowledge, and you don't want to accept that. But that's fine. I will highlight the fuck out of it. No problem. I got you.
I'm not going to do that. But on the other hand, it's cool to, I guess, implicate others in this weird conspiracy to hurt folks. So, what is it that you want to happen? What exactly do you want?
No. Remember, scientist Mel also said that I'm less than a retarded person. Just want to remind you about that, guys. and we're going to take a look at a few things. We're going to take this mask off of Dragnauct's face. I'm going to show you what kind of individual this is in a minute, because apparently he's forgot his own deeds here online. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I didn't forget shit. When do I deny that I'm an asshole to people? When do I deny that I am mean to people? When do I deny any of this shit? Like I'm at a loss for when I actually deny this shit. Like I will tell people who are new to my channel, like, if you don't know the deal, if you don't know the score, you will soon. Like, I'm not sure, G-Man, if you think that I'm actually ashamed of who I am as a person. See, the difference, one of the many differences between you and I is that I'm a very secure person. Very secure with who I am, at least for the most part. I could lose like 50 pounds. But when you can't look at yourself in the mirror, that's something that is kind of noticeable. Just little things. So, G-Man, I've met all types of people in my few decades here. And I pegged you for the type of person that hates themselves and is very insecure long ago. Meeting you verified that. So when you try to do this thing where you assess other people's qualities and shit like that, I find it hilarious because you don't even know your goddamn self. So if you want to be real, like, well, real talk. How are you trying to understand people and any other person when you barely understand yourself? Like, let's be real, right? Hey,
these exchanges. Why do some of you guys have this weird heart on for Science's Mill? You know, just please answer that. So
I believe one of you made a joke with her about, because I think on your last hangout you said something about nude pics, and that you're disappointed that you didn't get nude pics about her. I don't have a hard on for Science's Mill. I have an opinion about Science's Mill, and none of them are nice.
Shanny's live now.
I'm trying to remember when we made the joke about nude pics. Was it me sending her nude pics or something? I don't know. I have to ask her.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to skip him listening to Shanny.
You just moved.
There we go.
You're with your man.
Shanty.
Why? But anyway, few points. The G-Man and Tommy. All right. What do you want to come of these exchanges that you have with the liberal elite, evil mad scientists, whatever characterization you want? One. Two, what are you actually going to do to help your families and the families of the people that you think that are being impacted by the malfeasance that these people are supposedly perpetrating? Two. Three, why have you guys not taken the steps in your own lives to improve the lives of others, especially to the people?
And again, how do you know I'm not doing that? Can't speak for Tommy Hall, because I would never presume that he's not doing something.
Because he says he's not.
How do you know this? Like, you got a hidden camera in my house somewhere or something? Because I'm wondering how you know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing.
It's
Where's your proof?
really easy. Okay, I'll explain this again, Tommy. G-Man, the classes that you need to take in order to pursue any degree remotely related to the fields that you're talking about require labs. These labs last for several hours, usually twice a week, sometimes once a week. You are online during those times. Don't think that we haven't looked at colleges in the area that you live in and that we don't know some of the curriculums, okay? We've actually looked this stuff up. If you're online and not in school during these times, you can easily put two and two together. Remember that claim that you have this degree? That sparks some of us to actually go look this up. Some of us actually do research, just a little bit. It does not take long. So if you want proof, G-Man, you're online during the times these classes would have been held. Point blank.
That you think are being impacted by these nefarious individuals, these doctors of internal medicine, these vaccine manufacturers. What are you actually doing? physically, what are you doing? Now, I'm not talking about making YouTube videos. That's not doing something. Okay.
And for the second time, Dragnauct, that's a lie. But let's hear what you got to say.
Tell me what you guys are doing, because I don't really see a whole lot of effort being put into what you claim to really believe. Just to give you a standard, I will use myself as that measuring stick. I understand my family is predisposition for cancer. Instead of hoping and wishing and praying.
Because of poor eating habits and not taking care of their bodies like yourself and not exercising and other things like that. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm trying to enter the field.
So wait. So this is funny. This is funny, folks. So he's upset that he thinks that I have assumed things. What the fuck did he just do? He just literally assumed my entire family history. He literally assumed my medical history of my entire family. G-Man. Let me turn on my camera. Okay. Let me turn on my camera for a minute and just pause the stupidity. If not even 15 seconds ago you were upset because you thought I was assuming, why do you then get to assume my entire family history? Do you not see the hypocrisy? Does that not register with you? And this is kind of one of the weird things about you, that people, when people call you stupid, this is one of those stupid moments. And so in my back of my mind, I want to say, nigga, are you dumb or are you stupid? Because there is no fucking way that thought ran across your head and you didn't go, shit, I don't know anything about this guy's medical history. I don't know anything about his family, nor their medical history, nor do I have any type of documentation about his medical history or his family's medical history. I don't think I could really draw that conclusion unless I had access to that, or at least knew some of them personally, which he does not. So where in the fuck does he get off thinking that it's okay for him to assume, but not for me? Because I actually told you how I came to that conclusion. Are you going to offer how you came to that conclusion? Or are you pulling that out? Oh, you're making shit up? Okay, G-Man, thank you. You're making shit up again.
I'm spending my time.
No, seriously, dude. All you need to do is pick up a book and go to the gym. That's all you need to do. Pick up a book and go to the gym. Eat better food. That's all you need to do.
So the blue barrel stacker is now given health, and that's awesome. That's awesome, G-Man. So when I make my rants when I'm outside, what do you think I'm fucking doing? But when I was actually in Sam's hangout, I was cooking chicken breast, grilled chicken breast, while everybody else is eating pizza. Do you not think that some of these uncontroversial things are shared by the majority of the population? Like, I pick up several books. In fact, G-Man, get this. I'm actually in school. I actually talk about school quite often. So I pick up several books every day and actually read them. You should try that sometime before you give me advice. How about you educate yourself before someone actually hurts themselves based on your ignorance? All right. So if we're gonna trade little bits of information here and little tidbits of factoids, how about you take your ignorant ass and take your dumb ass to school and fucking learn something for once? That's a really cool thing that you could do. And so you might not come across as such a fucking dumbass that people may not laugh at you as much. Okay? That's so cool. That's such an awesome idea. I know. But we both know that you can't sit still for fucking 5 seconds, nor can you actually be taught anything because you're a fucking dumbass. Okay? So perhaps Tommy can, I don't know, you know what? Maybe Tommy can learn something and you can suck the information out of his dick. Maybe that's how you learn. Maybe that, because I can't help you with that. And I guess that's like the relationship that you guys have, because that seems to be more conducive toward your learning style. So maybe you could talk to him about that and he'll just give you knowledge injections via semen.
In the military, so that I can earn the right to go back to school to study something that will ultimately impact my life and the life of my progeny, and the life of my family. So this is not me, just browbeating y'all to death. I'm asking, why can't you guys set your standards even close to the ones that I set for myself?
Putting it out there.
And once again, what makes you think that's not happening?
Again.
As a matter of fact, Dragnauct, no disrespect, I think your standards are rather low.
My standards are low?
Your standards are very high whatsoever.
Oh.
I'll prove that in a minute too.
Okay, cool. So I'll tell you, so my standards are low. So I'll tell you what, G-Man, how about you take your old decrepit ass and you go join the fucking military. And then after you leave with an honorable discharge, then you go into a high demand STEM field. Okay. And I want you to also graduate from the president's list, just from a community college. You go do that. You accomplish a fraction of what I've actually accomplished. Okay. And then you get to challenge kind of like the standard that I have for myself. Okay. I want you to do that. Don't talk to me about accomplishments and standards when you can't even stand in my fucking shadow. All right. I love this idea that this fucking retard can somehow, or at least in his mind, think that he amounts to anything. He doesn't. He's a 40-year-old fucking dude who stacks barrels for a fucking living, who can barely read 3 sentences without sounding like a fucking illiterate 6th grader. But what in your mind makes you think that you sound at least the least bit cogent with anything that you fucking say? Literally every one of your fucking titles is so fucking misspelled that I weep for the education system in New Jersey. It's a you literally are a testament to a failing education system. But somehow, G-Man, somehow you have the audacity to talk about other people's standards. You can't even fucking spell. You have not even the basic level of fucking literacy. Nor does your little butt buddy True. When you don't know the difference between D-O and D-U-E, you can't say shit to me, G-Man. You or True. None of you fuckers can. Not a goddamn person, dude. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of this whole thing. You guys love beating your dicks to fucking scientists, Mel and Fiona and all these other folks who actually can accomplish shit. But none of you fucks can actually sit down and spell one grammatically correct fucking sentence. How about you practice basic literacy first? Fuck science shit. Fuck it. Fuck science literacy. Start with basic shit that you have yet to accomplish in your 40 years of fucking living. You can't even get that. You have literally reached middle age and you have not accomplished shit that people have accomplished in the first 10 years of their goddamn life. So how about that shit? Let me put that into perspective. You've literally failed for 30 years at shit people have accomplished in the first decade. What's the excuse? What's the excuse there? What makes you think that you're going to somehow accomplish shit now? What makes you think that you're going to make change now? If you've had 3 times as much time to practice basic shit, you've not mastered it. But now all of a sudden you have the audacity to try and talk shit to people. You can't even accomplish the shit that I have. And I've been around, what? I'm at least 10 years your junior. So in the last decade alone of me living, I've accomplished more than you've accomplished in 40 years. Way more than you have. Way more in every facet of life. Every single facet. There's literally nothing, G-Man, that you can do better than me other than be a retard. That is the only thing in life that you will ever come close to beating me in. And you know what? You can hold that mantle as king of the fucking idiots. You, True, and your butt buddy Tommy. Because I fucking love it. I fucking love to see you idiots fail. Because it makes my dick hard in the morning. It makes me want to excel and succeed that much more. So when I wake up and I piss excellence, I know that you're good enough just to watch that piss fall down the fucking toilet. That's it. That's it. If you want real talk, motherfucker, there it is. There it fucking is. When Tommy loves to talk shit about the people's grass he cuts, I'm happy to tell him I will buy property in Dallas, Fort Worth, so I can hire his ass to cut it with glee. I don't want them fucking Mexicans to cut it. I don't want them Dominicans to cut it. I don't want them Salvadorans to cut it. I want his ass out there cut my motherfucking grass. All right? So he can hate on me some more. If you want some real talk, G-Man, that's real talk. That's what it's about. That's where I put myself. Okay? So don't be upset when real life hits you in the face like a dick hits Tommy in the mouth. All right?
That's what I'm asking you. Why do you guys sit in the shadows of people who have accomplished things, but you don't actually want to try and accomplish a fraction of what they've accomplished?
This is like the very definition of what a narcissist is. How does he know I haven't accomplished anything in my life?
You stack barrels for a living.
Here's the thing. Christianity prevents me from getting on here and boasting and bragging about what I've done in my life.
Bruh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Bruh.
But because he doesn't have these restrictions, he can come on here and boast and brag pretty much about doing nothing. Because trust me, guys, he's doing nothing. His response is going to hurt today. All right? And I'm going to prove to you he's doing nothing. Yeah, he's going to school. That's about it.
But have such a huge issue with supposedly how they conduct themselves through some grand conspiracy that you know fabricated. Maybe you guys can expound upon that. Maybe you can make some.
So, you know, my very small and pitiful standards, and Dragnauct's doing all this stuff with his life. We're going to take a look at his YouTube channel, guys, and we're going to see what he's doing with his life really soon, guys.
So now a person's life, like what you're doing with your life, is measured by what you do on YouTube. Did y'all catch that? Is this real life? Is this a fantasy? This dude's literally using YouTube metrics as a standard for what someone has accomplished in life. Like, how sad. Like, how this, just think about that for a minute. Just think about that. Just sit down and go, what does every other person, just every other sane person, think that is some type of accomplishment or an accolade, right? Going out and feeding the homeless, you know, building a affordable housing for, you know, a beleaguered population or a community. You know, like, think about the real shit that people do in real life to help out others. Now compare that to what this dude just said. This dude literally just said that your life accomplishments are based on what your YouTube channel says. I do this shit for fucking fun. This is not an accomplishment. YouTube will never be an accomplishment for me. That this is something that is a pastime that I can drop and go dedicate my life to fucking putting salt on slugs on the sidewalk. Literally anything else. But this guy has such low standards for what he sees as an accomplishment that having a YouTube channel where he is a zip coon negative racial stereotype, and that's an accomplishment to him. Like, that's an accolade in his mind. You know how embarrassing that is? Do y'all actually know what people say about this guy in like black atheist websites and social media forums? Do y'all know how embarrassed folks are to see him do the shit that he does? And some of the folks in my chat are from some of these groups. What's going on, Soul of Thunder? You know, he is an embarrassment. He is literally a walking stereotype that gets tossed around as a sideshow freak that makes everyone else look bad. Now, mind you, I know people don't compare what I'm doing to him. I understand that people look at us like different species, but at the same time, it is an embarrassment that he exists, period. Because it is an acknowledgement that there are times where stereotypes are true. And it's a reminder that there's just certain conditions that are the perfect storm to make an individual like this. And it's sad. It's really sad to see someone like this exist. Like, his existence hurts my soul. that bad. And it's crazy because he thinks that doing this coonery and buffoonery is something cool. Like he thinks that being a negative racial stereotype is something that he's proud of. Just consider that for that's from the other side, because it's a pain watching him. It's a pain knowing that he has little to no self-awareness in that.
Just give me a sec.
Funny animations and sound effects, and explain this to me, because that's probably the most confusing thing. Because mind you, while you guys are wanting to talk to Scientist Mel, she and I have some great conversations off air.
Wait, what's Tommy saying? Drag sounds like he just makes stuff up as he goes along. Tommy, half the time you sound like you pull shit out of your ass that was put there by a dick. So I mean, if we're just tossing, insults back and forth, that's kind of how I think. But
You know what, Dragnauct? There is no doubt in my mind that you were shooting smoke right up from behind, telling her what she want to hear. You're eating up her information as if it's facts, and I'm sure you're eating it up and you're loving it. Those of us who actually think outside the box and actually think for ourselves don't usually do that. We usually challenge that kind of thinking. But I'll prove that to you when you're done with this.
Challenge critical thinking.
Letter, I think.
She's just not interested.
Actually, Scientist Mel and I have some interesting conversations about some of the things she puts forth on G Plus and some of the issues that have come up recently with her presence here on the Google Tubes. And we actually have some really good conversations and share personal anecdotes and challenge, each other's kind of perception of certain things and talk about it, but it's offline. But then we have a good sense of humor when it comes to like talking about topics like anime and science and stuff like that. So it's like you don't know the quality of our conversation. You don't know the content of our conversation. But I think it's interesting that you've mentioned that, because you do sound a bit jealous that I've gotten to know Mel over the last few days and you haven't. I mean, if I'm soaking up all the white women attention from you, then I don't know what to tell you. Step your game up, bro. Like I don't like what do you want me to do you want me to lower myself to your standards so you can compete? Is that what you want to do, bro? I mean, if we're competing for her affection, then I don't think that I peg her kind of as a sapiosexual. Granted, I'm married, so you do have a leg up there. But just on a friendly level, I'm pretty sure she wants to have a circle of friends that have an IQ over 30, and I don't think that you meet the standard. So if you're in the negatives, man, you're gonna have to do something about that. Sorry.
And talking to you guys, which is sad because she's an invaluable resource that you guys will never get a chance to speak to. Sucks.
We'll be talking about Scientist Mel again very briefly here, guys, and I'm gonna show you why. I literally made a decision. I won't be talking to Scientist Mel.
Good.
And the consequences for a video like this, and then watch them moaning and crying and complaining, that's going to come from this community after I say what I'm going to say.
It's probably sexist. Probably incredibly fucking sexist.
You've implicated her and others in this grand conspiracy when it's like, that's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. So maybe you guys...
That's right. You need to talk with a low tone of voice, try to make it sound like you care about the matter and whatnot. But let's remember that Scientist Mel said, and I quote, that me and Tommy Hall, that calling us retarded is disrespecting retarded people. I just want to remind you that's what your idol said on camera.
She's my idol.
I would address Sokka, but honestly, he's not worth my time.
Idol.
To answer this open challenge, maybe not. I really don't expect much, but you know what? We'll see. You can't say that I haven't put it out here on the table and have allowed you guys to maybe correct some misconceptions I have. Maybe I just have everything all wrong. That's a perfectly reasonable explanation. But
yes, he can't spell or pronounce metastasis. It's like too many syllables.
Two really inept guys who have a bone to pick, who've now latched on to woman who's just stepped into our community.
It's that nervous laugh.
I'm just waiting for this guy to
see, even he knows it's a fake laugh. Like it sounds forced. Come on, dude. Do you really think we don't know that that's a forced laugh? Come on.
Tease anything that you two could ever imagine. And so now that we have others who've also joined into the fray, Black Savage,
Don't hurt yourself.
Become the target of your ire. Now they've been incorporated into this grand conspiracy. So please.
Dunning-Kruger poster child.
I am genuinely curious. So on that note, go ahead and get ready. Looks like my appointment's been moved to 12:30. Gotta go make. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to respond to this abomination of desolation, known as this letter of from Dragnauct.
Abomination of desolation.
Asking us to answer his open letter. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GTV.
Yes.
I am
Yeah, someone mentioned this. Notice no science from Drag. No, Tommy. This was an open letter to you too. No, this was not about science. So there are times where I talk about different things other than science because I actually have other interests, and that kind of happens when you take science seriously for most of your fucking day, and then you have other things you want to talk about to kind of get away from the topic. So when you actually take these topics very seriously and study them intensely, you want to break from them. It's not just a pastime that you just kind of carry along into every conversation because you want to feel better about yourself and your place in life. So that's, again, Tommy, that's kind of like the difference between you and I, and well, you and any other person who takes things seriously. So.
And today we are going to respond to a pseudoscience religious evolutionist.
Religious evolutionist.
Completely delusional.
Completely.
When it comes to your health. Okay? Now, apparently, I can't speak for Tiny Holes, so I'll speak for myself.
Please do.
I've set my standards.
I can't speak for Tiny Holes.
Like really well. And I'm not working on the field and I'm not impacting the community. It's like I shouldn't even be making this video, honestly. The very fact that I even got to respond to that is a lie straight out of hell.
You don't have to. You could go do something else with your life. Okay? I was just going to call you a bitch.
First and foremost, Dragnauct, you don't know nothing about the cancer issue whatsoever.
Okay.
And I'm looking directly at you right now. You don't know nothing about this.
Oh.
Scientist Mel knows a little bit about this.
A little bit. She's done research in it.
I give her a little bit. She knows all of the obvious stuff. You get cancer, get chemotherapy, live 5 years, if possible, and then die. Anybody knows
that. Maybe doing a thing with Tommy in the Geek Room tonight. All right, let me know about that, man, so I can promote that. I'm genuinely curious. Don't hold back with any terminology, because when he says something, if it involves any type of enzyme activity, mention the enzyme by name and ask him, is that what he's talking about? Because you will see him hesitate every single time. Yes, cooner. Okay, so coonery and buffoonery is it's a colloquialism, and what it basically means is that G-Man is behaving like a negative racial stereotype, and he's doing that while being a buffoon. It's hard. It's really hard to translate that out, but that's essentially what it refers to. So yes, when you hear me say coonery and buffoonery, and in the context of G-Man, think of this face. Think of, this is kind of how I imagine him, most of the time. So there you go. Well, let's find out. L-Dopa causes Parkinson's. Yeah, you might know a little bit about that, huh? You might know a little bit, huh? Just a tiny bit. But you know what? Tommy's he's gonna learn you something. He's gonna learn you something.
Cancer, chemotherapy, live 5 years if possible, and then die.
So that's actually not how it works. And I actually had my mother, on the phone so people could hear. My mother got chemotherapy several years ago, and she's still doing fine. And she actually, when I called her, she had just went back and checked on it, and no cancer. Man, my mother's still alive and kicking. She just came to visit us this, previous December, and she looked fine. So no, G-Man, it's not 5 years. That's not how. Like I guess everyone has stage 4 or stage 3 cancer. I don't know.
Anybody knows that. Everybody knows that. You get chemotherapy when you get cancer.
No.
Everybody knows that.
Get surgery sometimes.
Okay. So I'm not really understanding why. Because honestly, I've listened to this woman twice.
Twice.
First time when she talked to Tommy Hall, all she did was overtalk him and talk down to him. Second time I've heard her was when she said that calling me retarded and calling Tommy Hall retarded was doing a disservice to retarded people. If you want to call that scientific, more power to you.
Look, it's not science. Like, I love these stills. I'm not sure, like, if it's obviously an insult. It's like you can be upset with the insult, dude. That's fine, but don't pretend like she meant something or pretend like she was trying to couch that in scientific language, because she wasn't. She was remarking on your fucking behavior. Your behavior isn't a scientific fucking inquiry. It's not something that we need to do a lot of research into. It's just an observation of how you behave. That's it. You can leave it at that. Like, it's funny how he places such an emphasis and attaches all this other shit to basic things, but when it comes to these complex topics, he won't do his diligence there. Like, he has a weird switch that needs to be swapped or something with another fucking switch that causes him to pay an enormous amount of attention to insults, but not to subjects. You know, did anybody else notice that? Like, it's weird to me that he does that. So I'm pausing this so you guys can get screen cap, because my picture of him in my phone is a screen capture like this, where he's kind of looking into the camera and he doesn't recognize his own reflection. So
you believe that's something I need to talk to her about, and whatever. So anyway. Apparently, I'm wasting my time making YouTube videos.
Yes.
I think I'll do one more screen share when this is over. But ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Dragnauct's YouTube channel, go look at the topics that he talks about on his channel.
Yeah.
Where true empiricism works.
Mm-hmm.
Where true empiricism lives.
Yep.
True empiricism losing weight.
Yep.
True empiricism is going to be made.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't seem like he has very high standards for what he's doing on the internet.
Nope.
Since every time I make a video, he's responding to it.
Yep.
Okay, he doesn't have high standards whatsoever. This guy is on YouTube to get attention, and he's a Poe. That's why he's on here. He is Dragnauct is just on here to make Dragnauct look good.
I guarantee you, he doesn't know what a Poe is.
Channel, go find some real, and go find some actual, content. It is very little, but it's plentiful in drama. Very plentiful in drama.
Yep.
Nothing to learn on the channel whatsoever.
Nope.
Nothing. Nada.
So. So it's funny because I openly say that my channel is here to lambaste stupid people like that. Occasionally I'll have folks on and we'll have topics, but lately I'm not going to dedicate time to actually do that because, well, I am in school and I do this shit for fun. So if me just talking shit is a pleasure to people and people watch it, so be it. And what's actually, let me actually address that, because I don't know how many times I have to fucking say this, but people still seem to not understand. If you're watching my channel, it's probably not for any type of deep learning. It's not for any type of really educational purposes. Now, I will talk about that when say, okay, well, if there's some free time, we'll get some folks together and we'll have these discussions. But lately, the science bitches have been actually covering that way better than I could. So rather than me trying to put together something like that, when they have a dedicated format and they have more time, I will happily cede time to them, and I'll just make this shit about pure entertainment. So if that's not what you want, then it is what it is. But mind you, because I've heard this from a few people, if you're looking for a certain type of content, if you want to pretend like you're above the drama, so be it. But keep in mind that the people that you defer to, that you think that don't like the drama, watch my channel. And anybody that you think doesn't enjoy the drama watches my channel. You want to know why? Because they've told me, because they're subscribed to me, and you don't realize it. So meanwhile, while some of these folks want to pretend they want to, they're above this shit and they want to sit on that pedestal, the people that you look to, that you think are above the drama, watch my channel religiously and have done so for several years. Okay? So that's just me being real. I don't pretend to be anything that I'm not. I'm not going to pretend like I'm high-minded all the time and above the shit. No, because I like to have fucking fun. When I want to do science, I'll go to a fucking lab. When I want to learn about science, I have an off-air hangout and talk to folks, or sometimes we'll do it on there, But again, the science bitches are doing it, and I will happily promote their channel and what they're doing, because I think it's important and I think it's informative, and that's why I attend every single fucking one of them. when I can. So just to set the record straight.
Zilch. Nothing. A lot of name calling going on. A lot of that. Nothing. There's more science on this channel than it is on his channel. And I'm just getting started. So anyway, the reason why I believe I'm not wasting my time making these videos, Dragnauct, is because I'm creating awareness. Let me talk real slow like for you, Dragnauct, so you can understand.
Oh, please do.
When you make videos about alternatives to cancer treatment, somebody outside YouTube might actually watch the video. They might learn something. Then they might apply what they're learning.
That's scary. So here's the reality of it, okay? When someone who genuinely wants to find some type of intervention for what ails them, they come across a half-literate fucking buffoon who can't sit still long enough to learn anything about the topic that he's speaking on, and they get advice from said person. That advice is more than likely not going to be very accurate. And so I have no problem getting folks together, lampooning the idiocy, but also offering what medical science has, the very best of what medical science has. Now, mind you, none of us, there's no controversy about having good, a good diet and exercise. Like, there's literally a non-point. But the problem here is that you think that you're offering shit to help people when in reality, you're telling people to fucking poison themselves with amygdalin. Like, you don't understand the biochemistry. You don't understand the molecular biology. You can't even pronounce those, to tell you the truth, or spell them. But you want to then tell people what's good for them. You can't even buy clothes that fit, but you want to give people advice on how to take care of themselves? Are you serious? You are unable to type out one grammatically correct sentence to tell people what they should do. You don't even have enough sense to buy clothes that fit, nor wear them at the appropriate times during the fucking seasons to protect your body. But you want to tell someone else how to care for themselves and how to treat themselves? Just think about that for a second. Just let that marinate for a hot fucking minute. You don't even have enough sense to put on clothes when it's cold, but you're gonna tell someone how to take care of themselves? Are you serious? Bruh. Really? But now, but hold on for a second. Whoa, wait. Now all of a sudden, molecular biology and biochemistry and all this other shit. Now, wait, you don't know that. Okay. So you half read a book that may or may not be right. You don't fucking know. You have no education in it, but you just assume it's true because it goes against what you think is I guess mainstream science. You don't know the mainstream science. You know what you've heard. And so because it's counter to what everyone else is doing, you just automatically assume it's right. That's cool. That's rich. Meanwhile, you out here getting sick because your dumb ass didn't have enough sense to put on clothes that fit and clothes to keep your ass warm. Okay, bro.
Do you understand that, Dragnauct?
Please speak slower so I can understand.
I'm trying to talk. Maybe I should talk slower. Let me see it again real
Please
slow.
do.
Dragnauct. Sir.
Better call me sir.
This YouTube channel is creating awareness. You understand that much? You didn't go too far for me, did you? Great. Somebody who watches YouTube going to see this video. Is going to see one of the videos I made about cancer. They're going to learn about the alternative methods to treating cancer. And then, hopefully, they will apply the information. If you believe
in magic,
that myself and Tommy Hall are the only two people on the net that is criticizing the medical field, there is something wrong wrong with you. Maybe you're not understanding what I'm saying, Dragnauct. Sometimes maybe I'm talking too fast and you just simply don't understand what I'm talking about.
Sure, speak slower. Go ahead and hide the bald spot.
Whenever a person is creating awareness, you are never wasting your time. I'm not trying to learn from Doc Savage.
Obviously.
I'm not trying to learn from Scientist Mel.
Obviously.
I'm trying to get them to understand that chemotherapy kills people.
Yeah, so yeah, I heard people caught on to that he's, and I guess a lot of you who've been watching me for a while, you'll notice that when I start using certain phrases and I start doing things to mock him, he tries to do them back. And he doesn't understand that it doesn't really match his, like, I guess, persona. And it's obvious that he's trying to mimic me. And I think it's cute. It's like when I started saying, well, you know, the meat and potatoes of what's going on, he started picking up and saying meat and potatoes. You notice he stopped saying that the second I stopped saying it. But I mean, if he thinks that this is actually pretty funny because this is him trying to be serious, so I'm paying attention. I am completely attentive to what he is trying to put across to me, and it is, I guess I could say, I am acutely aware that there are other people who promote the same woo-woo bullshit that they do. Oddly enough, I have more access to these individuals, so of course I'm going to speak to the individuals I have easier access to. So I'm not sure where he thought that I don't, or I'm not aware of the other people, because obviously these guys didn't think of this stuff themselves. Ken Hovind has been pushing this bullshit for a while, to which he got a cease and desist letter from the government. But it's odd. It's odd how he just kind of throws stuff in there, and all of a sudden, again, here he is assuming what I am aware or not aware of. It's almost like he makes a lot of assumptions and gets upset when he thinks other people kind of do it. And yes, folks, he's not really understood how to say my name. After about 5 years, you would have thought that he would have at least learned it a bit. I know that G Consciousness says Dragnauct as a joke. That is a drag queen joke. And so I understand why he says it, because he actually places an emphasis on both syllables. G-Man, however, is just illiterate. So even when I have a simple last name like Silvas, he puts additional fucking letters in there and Silvelius. Yeah. And so it's like, dude, if you can't even say my name, keep my name out your mouth. Like it's as simple as that. Like if you've not gotten past go, you've not collected $200. So just stop it. Because this whole thing fails when you can't even pronounce the name.
A lot faster than cancer does. I'm trying to get people to understand. Pay attention, Dragnauct. Trying to get people to understand chemotherapy will cause a person to get cancer.
Oh, really?
Now breathe, Dragnauct, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
What is this supposed to be?
Earlier, you said that I'm not doing anything. You suggested that.
Oh, he's keeping himself calm
with my life, and that somehow I'm not impacting anyone's life on here on the internet. Dragnauct.
Is that what I said?
So you would have a point if you looked at the little bit of subscribers I had on this channel. I double dare you to go to my main channel and say that to me.
But I kind of can't because I'm blocked.
To your channel all day long. All right. So here's the thing, Dragnauct. You clearly don't understand how harmful putting radiation in your body really is at the end of the day.
Actually, I'm acutely aware.
You clearly don't understand that not only does this radiation kill cancer cells,
he tries to pronounce
this
melanoma.
Radiation kills healthy cells.
Really?
A lot more than some of these other alternative methods.
Really, G-Man?
Because of the cruelty of this radiation,
cruelty.
You will suffer fatigue.
Yes.
Fatigue. You won't want to eat. You'll lose all of your hair, and your body will be destroyed. Do you understand the words coming out my mouth.
Oh wow, Chris Tucker. Oh wow. You pulled a rush hour on me.
I talk about shark liver oil on this channel.
That causes cancer.
Doctors prescribe shark cartilage, Dragnauct. Look it up. Do your homework, Dragnaught.
Yes.
And you might learn something.
Actually, did y'all know that squalene shit actually is a carcinogen? I'm not even joking. Like, you can actually go Google it right now. It is actually a carcinogen. So it's funny that he's talking about this intervention that actually causes cancer. Yeah. That's a little bit of irony there, but you know, he's done his research, folks. He's talked to true empiricism. He's sucked the information out of Tommy's dick, and he knows now the truth. He doesn't realize that radiotherapy and chemo aren't the same thing. No, he uses them kind of interchangeably, and it's funny because there's different ways to tackle cancer. You can have surgery, there's radiotherapy, and then there's chemotherapy. But I think that he thinks that when you know, it's really hard to say. Like, I can't even say that he thinks that they're synonymous. To some degree, yeah, he'll use them interchangeably, but then he draws a weird distinction in certain areas. So it's like a meandering trail of assertions that there's really no consistency. And so I think like his inability to articulate shit is kind of what adds to a lot of the confusion. But you know, we're supposed to take the most charitable version of the drivel that he espouses, and yeah, that's easier said than done.
You claim I've never read this book. The burden of proof is on the person making the claim.
Sure.
Where is your evidence? I've never read this book.
You're half illiterate.
Not only do I
that's why.
Copy, I was just looking at it. Where is it? But I have 2 copies of this.
Why do you have 2 copies?
You understand? I keep forgetting where I put it, and then I show it and then I'll have it right there in front of my face.
You don't read one of them.
You don't know what I'm reading. You don't know what I'm not reading.
It's kind of obvious what you're not reading.
Now, let's talk about this conspiracy to kill people. Tell me, Dragnaught, let me take my hat off again, because clearly I can never be on your level, and I can't know as much as you. You have set yourself so high that you think you should be worshipped.
No.
Let's think about this.
I don't think I should be worshipped. Just appreciate it and given pecan pie.
You know what population control is?
Oh God.
Yes or no?
Oh God, please don't tell me he's going into this stupid shit.
I said it too fast. I apologize, Dragnaught. Please forgive me. I said it too fast. Do you know what population?
So this is how he's going to combat me pointing out that he subscribes to conspiracies by asserting a conspiracy.
Great, and you went to college for it. Great. Oh, that's great, Dragnaught. No. One more quick question for you, Dragnaught. Abortion, is that part of population control? Dragnaught?
What?
I mean, you read up on these things. You're a study. You know more than me and Tommy all idiots.
Yeah, I mentioned the Hidden Colors reference thing. Yeah, he claims it's not from Hidden Colors though, because I mentioned that in the Hangout.
Is that part of population control? Yes or no?
Look, nobody forces people to go and get an abortion. No one's holding a fucking gun to their head, and I honestly don't care. Like, if there's a bridge, that doesn't mean that bridge is there for people to jump off of. People are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Okay, I'm not sure if you understand. Well, I guess a part of the issue is that G-Man doesn't realize that other people have self-control. Like, I think that because he's compelled to do things and he has no control over his actions, that it must be like that for everyone else. If you want to go and say that, you know what, I don't want this embryo, I want to wait, then you have options, whether it be Planned Parenthood or a rusty coat hanger, because people are going to do it regardless of the ease of access. Okay, look at the fucking history of abortion. And G-Man, you don't have to go to school to actually look this shit up. You can actually see any annals of history, and just in our nation, what has happened when people have not had access to the proper medical facilities to perform such procedures. So the You're escorting 3 buses to the abortion clinic later. Hey, hey, good, because some of them ladies need protection because there's crazy people like this fucker out there. So, G-Man, I'm not sure how you can control a population by allowing people to voluntarily uh, do what they want with their own reproductive rights. Like, if you understand that, if you really believe this and the women who are pregnant believe this, then you can make a choice not to go. Like, I guess that's the part that confuses me. Maybe you can speak slower and explain to me, is there some type of mind control device that the tinfoil can't get past that is impacting women's minds, that are making them choose? Is that what's happening, G-Man? Or are you the only one that's immune to the psychic waves that are out there that are trying to control the population? Like, explain to me how this whole thing works. Or is it just subliminal messages in the TV, or whatever's in Tommy Seaman that kind of prevents you from I guess incurring the wrath of the psychic overlords or the lizard people? I never know where any of these conspiracies go, because they go in any direction, and it is clear, G-Man, that you will literally believe anything that people put out there. You are dumb enough to believe it. And so it's sad. Like, it's really sad that you do, but it's because it's quite obvious that you're a moron. And being that you're a moron, you really don't have the skills of discernment to figure out what's real and what's fake, so you will just believe anything. But I'm sorry. Please continue, G-Man. I enjoy learning whatever it is that you think that you're trying to teach people.
Are there politicians saying that there are too many people on the planet? Yes or no? Are there politicians saying that they're very powerful people that are lobbying in our government today? Are they saying
part of the Illuminati?
That there are useless eaters in the world?
Oh man, people have never said that. In the history of mankind, they have never said that.
We both know that these things are out there. Ted Turner said that when he died, he would want to come back as a virus to kill as many people as possible.
Ted Turner said that? I think I've heard this, but I could have sworn it was some British brat. British royalty. American media mogul. Come back as a virus. Let's see what I find. I'm trying to look this up. This one, it was a British prince that said something about that. Okay, debunked. If I were reincarnated, I would. Yeah, I thought Prince Philip said that. Let me see. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, so I believe it came from, so I was right. This came from Prince Philip. He doesn't even know where the fuck it came from. Gee, if you're going to get your conspiracies right, man, you at least need to know who to attribute. Oh, God. Dragnauct $5 says in his response, he takes your words and attempts to turn it into you concerning not believing in evolution. Yeah, he'll take it in any. Yeah, and so it's funny how G-Man took the words of this man seriously. He's talking about being reincarnated, which should have been the first sign that it wasn't something that's real. But fine, G-Man, I guess you believe in reincarnation, but then turned into a virus. Now, maybe G-Man thinks that, well, actually, no. You know what? I understand why G-Man believes this. And I just thought about this. And so I had to stop myself. G-Man does think that we have the technologies to synthesize viruses. And I'm not talking about alter, the nucleic acid inside of viruses, the ones that are enclosed within capsids and shit. But G-Man is of the belief that we can actually completely fabricate every part of a virus and have it do whatever it is we want. I mean, equip it with reverse transcriptase if it's a fucking retrovirus and everything else that we need, with intrase and all the other cool enzymes that you would normally find contained within some really funky viruses. Like, he thinks that we actually have this technology. So using that belief, he thinks that somehow you can take parts of a person and use this in the synthesis process. And so this pronouncement that's obviously fucking satire, uh, he thinks that this is real. He thinks that this is like some type of morbid warning or something like that to the rest of the world, because he believes everything. So Doc Savage and Tommy Hall will be on the Geek Room at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, folks. And so I'll probably go for a walk later and make another formal announcement. So Doc Savage, can you send me the watch link if they've not made it yet? Send me a watch link so I can link that. But yeah, so just in case you're not tracking, folks, G-Man does think that we have this technology. We do not. If maybe one day we can make our own proteins and fold them and do all kind of cool and funky stuff. I think me and Immutable had a conversation about that. Probably, I think it was yesterday, where we, were just kind of fantasizing about how cool that would be in the future. But that's simply not something that we're at. Like, we can irradiate parts of a virus. We can alter some of the existing genetic code that they have, but we cannot fully synthesize a virus particle. We do not have that type of technology. If we did, we could probably get rid of fucking herpes. just to let you know, like, what does this? And I just picked that because that's the first lysogenic virus that I could think of. If we could actually do that, if this was actually possible, we could make a virus to go into the genome of people who are affected by herpes and go in and put something in the middle of the gene sections that it's inserted itself in to inactivate it. We could easily do something like that, just, stop some of these really, really bad viruses. But, hell, like, there's all types of stuff that you could do if we had that type of technology. Yes, I actually did a report on Craig Venter and Venter Labs. He is trying to synthesize a cell, but so far he's working with mycoplasma, and I think he's gotten the genome down to I think he actually got it down to 135 genes. I think is. Someone feel free to correct me, but I think it's like 135. I think it's the lowest he's got, but they're trying to do that, but for right now they're just simply altering existing cells. So it is very interesting stuff, and I am full support of his work, because I think it will eventually lead to some great discoveries. But then again, these are people who are actually doing things. These are people who are trying to advance our knowledge and push that envelope even further. Not like this buffoon on the internet.
You didn't know that, Dragnauct? Man, maybe you should actually take some of your own advice and go study. Go do some research.
So G-Man, let me inform you on something about me, bro. Okay? I don't sit and learn conspiracies. I don't waste my time with that shit. Like, they're interesting to some degree, but that's not something that I really spend my time doing. Okay? If you want to see what I'm actually doing, G-Man, I will show you here, so you have a pretty good idea. Okay? So if you want to see what I'm doing, G-Man, this is what I study. Okay? Microbiology, molecular genetics, ecology, computational statistics. This is what I'm actually doing right now. Just so you can see what I'm doing compared to you. This is a visual representation of literally what I'm doing, except for now I'm on spring break. But that's not to mention all the stuff that goes into some of these labs. That doesn't also mention what I'm trying to do for undergrad research. This is just at base level what I'm doing. So no, when you talk about learning something, I'm learning actual science, not fucking conspiracies. So when I tell you to go learn something, I mean actual science, not bullshit.
It ain't difficult.
That's part of the problem.
Cancer. Do doctors on purpose prescribe chemotherapy while knowing chemotherapy is never going to cure cancer? Watch this, Dragnauct. It's not difficult. Now, pay attention, Dragnauct, because this one is going to get really difficult.
Oh man, can't wait for it. Dramatic pause.
The scientist Mel believe that chemotherapy is the best way to treat cancer. Yes or no?
So let's pause it right here. So what's interesting here is that G-Man has such little knowledge in this area and such little attention to detail. He misses when people actually say exactly what they believe. And like almost every other person here who knows anything about medical science, we're not going to make sweeping statements. It depends on the type of cancer, it depends on the patient, and it depends on what's best for their health. That's what the fucking answer is, G-Man. It really does fucking depend. That's why personalized medicine is a thing. You should go look that up, by the way. You should really go look up personalized medicine. Because since you've never worked in the medical field under any capacity, and I make that assessment given your assertions about the medical field, it's quite clear that you've never stepped foot in the medical facility in that capacity. I mean, not professional one, obviously, because you lack the education. I mean, even a paraprofessional. And I put myself in that category as a paraprofessional in a clinical setting. It's quite clear that you know very little about what goes into actually getting to a diagnosis. Just even something as simple as making a SOAP note. If you don't even know what that is, you can't tell me or anybody else what we supposedly know about the medical industry or what happens in a clinic or at a hospital setting. That's just the reality of it, man. Like that's just I hate to break it to you, but people don't go in and say I have pain in ass. Oh, has to be the ass cancer. Give him 50 cc's of the ass cancer chemo drug. No, that's not how shit works. Like I would love to hear how G-Man thinks that triage is performed, or how how people come to different diagnoses, or any of the tests that actually go into determining what someone has, just even if it's like rhinitis. Like I'm genuinely fucking curious. Dragnauct Resident Evil was a documentary. Yes, I guess in G-Man's mind, Resident Evil is a fucking documentary because it's crazy. It's crazy the kind of shit that these guys say. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. I've actually worked in a fucking hospital and in a fucking clinic. I've been a medical emergency technician. Like, what do you think that everyone is just ignorant and inept as you? Like, we don't have these different lifestyles that lead us to learn different things and experience different things. Now, I understand that Tommy went because his ass was sore and he went to a doctor, and I guess the doctor failed him. And whatever, this doctor was just so negligent that it had a real pain in his ass that he couldn't get rid of. That's fine. And I love the fact that, people thought, because you know what? They saw a black man who ain't that smart and he just put his dick in whatever, and they just said it was AIDS. You know what? People have bad experiences with bad doctors. I've had bad experiences with doctors, but I don't then go off and label every doctor as some agent of the Illuminati and population control and fucking just all this other crazy shit that he brings up. Like, it's none of it actually, like, how does it all connect? Like, he just throws out these assertions, and it's like, well, the Illuminati's influencing the medical industry, and Big Pharma is influencing them too, and so that means that they're trying to control the population because now Planned Parenthood is just like, it's one conspiracy after another because someone thought he had AIDS. Yes, folks, if y'all did not know that, go listen to that story that he told about him going to a fucking clinic and they thought he had AIDS. The doctor was just trying to wave him away. Probably, you know what? They probably stereotyped him. You know. Oh, did I call you at midnight? My bad. I did not mean to call you at midnight. I do apologize, RSC. I will use some more discretion. I won't just call you incessantly and insist that you just show up at my fucking beck and call. My bad.
Because according to you,
but you're a coward.
Myself and Tommy Hall, we're total idiots. We don't know nothing.
Yep. Yes, that's pretty accurate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to you. It ain't nothing. It's nothing.
You can say that. You can say nothing.
Because that's science. If you don't say nothing,
that's not.
Nothing.
That has nothing to do with science.
So scientists felt that chemotherapy is a good treatment. What about Doc Savage? Does he believe that chemotherapy is a good let me ask why he was on my channel. That's right. He does that. Think that chemotherapy is.
I think there was a few more words in his response, but you know.
It destroys the human body. Like, would you put your head in a microwave? Would you like stand in front of a microwave while the food is cooking? That's right. You probably don't even know that the microwave and the food that you eat in the microwave kills white blood cells. So you probably didn't even know that. Oh God. Dragnet, because
I bet you guys G-Man doesn't know how a microwave works. I guarantee you, he does not know how a microwave works. I don't really know anyone that actually stands in front of the microwave, because I think most people know that it emits microwaves. But you know what? It is what it is. If he wants to assume that somehow in the last few years of my education that I have not figured out the basics of like physics, even though I said like over a year ago that I was taking physics, and I actually told him I was taking physics, and he actually contacted me because he knew I was taking physics because he thought it'd be helpful against the flat earthers. You know, no big deal. No big deal, right? He just kind of forgets about these things. And like calling me on Skype and asking me specific questions about virtual images and real images, and when it comes to, you know, telescopes and his talks against the flat earthers. Never mind all that. He just fabricates, you know, this scenario where I don't know any of that stuff, and conveniently forgot that I still have the call log of him calling me and then me sending him a document showing him how a telescope works. Never mind all that, right? Because that never happened. But, you know, by all means, G-Man, please continue.
You know, because if you don't believe it, then it's not true. It's not true. What's that little joke that you guys make? The little joke that you guys make is nuclear bombs to kill cancer, missiles kill cancer, this kills cancer. Okay, so obviously you're missing the point. You want to be able.
Okay, no, so that was Scientist Mail sending me messages about the fuck ups that they were making in the Hangout. And so the joke was, well, amygdalin kills cancer. Well, you know what? So do blenders and nuclear bombs, and Freddy Krueger kills cancers. Like that was a joke based on the comments these guys were making. That's what he's referring to.
Able to treat the illness or the disease to your body in a way that's going to benefit the body the most without harming it. And the way you do that,
welcome to medicine.
When you do that is to find methods other than radiation. If you know that B17 kills cancer cells, then guess what? Try some B17 instead of getting radiated. It don't take a lot of knowledge to understand that. How about cancer prevention, Dragnauct? Eating more fruits, vegetables, and taking better care of your body. I don't need to go to the military, and I certainly don't need to go to college to understand that if I eat an apple, I'm preventing my body from getting sick. If I eat more oranges and pineapples with vitamin C and eat more.
That's man. Looks like, did y'all get that? Man. Damn. Did y'all catch that? I don't need to go to the military. I don't need to go to school. Man, he took that personally. Do y'all think he got a little bit of salt? That's just, man. Put some more salt on that watermelon. God damn. I'm sorry, man. You couldn't do what I did. I'd like. Am I supposed to be sad that you're not smart enough to know that cyanide actually hurts people? Like, if you're upset that you think that people don't know that chemotherapy hurts healthy cells. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Like, everyone has said that. Everyone acknowledged, like, this is one of those, again, this is one of these non-controversial points that you brought up. I don't think anyone here has said that chemotherapy, like any other therapy, doesn't have its drawbacks or doesn't have its downsides, or, you know, or precautions. Like, that's something that's kind of understood by everybody. So what about that are you not understanding? I guess that's kind of, well, I do understand. He skips that purposely and then attempts to mischaracterize people. Well, it's kind of, actually, it's kind of his MO. But in this case, it's like, if you want to stay on topic, bro, stay on topic. Don't be mad because I've accomplished something that you can't. And, well, now, yeah, you are too old to accomplish. You know, it is what it is. It's perfectly fine to know that you're inept. It's perfectly fine to know that you failed and you're a coward and you'll never do it. That's perfectly fine. Just come to terms with, you'll never be as great as me in that area. That is something you nor Tommy, or True for that matter, y'all will never be able to do that. Just, you can bitch and moan and whine about that shit all day, and I'm just gonna laugh. But if you want to talk about the school aspect for it, well, you know, you can take your ass to school. Like, people have encouraged you. People have offered, folks. People have offered this guy free tuition. I know at least three different people have offered to pay for G-Man's tuition and books to go to school. He has declined all of them. I want to say at least, yes, one of the people who offered him that is in the chat right now. They have contacted him publicly and they've contacted him privately and have offered him a ride. If you were to take all three of those offers, he could have gotten probably 2.5 years. Just think about that. Think about how many people would love that opportunity. But this idiot has turned them down because I think he knows that he's inept and he can't. You know, he would only get into Trump University probably. But just think about that for a second. He's turned down free education. But now he's complaining that I had to work for mine. Am I supposed to feel fucking bad? Am I supposed to somehow go, well, you know what? Me having to put myself through hell for 4 years and now deal with the residual impacts of that and the effects of that, is that worth my education? Well, you know what? If you really want something, then you'll do what you need to do. But here, G-Man has an easier path than me yet again. Yet again, he gets to have the easy way out. And people feel sorry for his dumbass. And so they offer him to go to school. All he has to do is say, you know what? There's community college up the street. Let me see if I can alter my work schedule. And let's get it popping. Let's do it. Like, it's sad. Like, it is fucking sad that he gets to take the easy route. He doesn't have to actually apply himself like I did. He didn't have to push himself like I had to push myself. He didn't have to have the personal struggles that I've had. He gets sympathy for being an idiot and being a fucking dumbass. And it's kind of sad, but it is kind of fortunate, though, that there are people like that who feel sorry enough for him that they've offered him that. Now, he can feel some type of way about people offering that charity, but you know what? An education is a fucking education. You get it how you can get it. Get it how you live. You know? That's the reality of the situation. But this dumbass turns that down because he thinks that he can learn everything from a fucking YouTube video. That's the level of person that we're dealing with here. But that's not a shock to anyone. That's not a fucking shock to anyone. Tommy's not going to offer. He's not going to get that offer. Tommy has too much pride. And I think G-Man does too, to a lesser degree. But for Tommy, even though I think Tommy could afford it himself, Tommy's just too fucking lazy. Way too lazy. Tommy's not going to sit there and be taught by anyone because in his head, he thinks that if he can just intuit things, then that's obviously what must be the case. Because he shies away constantly shies away from the molecular aspects of what he's talking about and the biochemical aspects, the very things that you would need to demonstrate the point he doesn't want to actually sit down and learn any of it because it's too hard, because he's a simpleton. So of course these simpletons are going to stick with one another, but yet they're upset. All these folks who are elitists, all these folks, they're just so big-headed. I am not, and I don't think I'll ever be so big-headed that I don't think that I can sit down and learn something from somebody. There have been, most of my instructors have been people who have not had a lot of the personal struggles that I've had. I don't look down upon them for that. I try and learn from them, and I try and share my experiences with them, because even in their position, they think that they can learn a lot from me, which I appreciate. There have been a number of instructors that I've had that have wanted to hear about my time in the military and how I got to where I am now. Some of them thought it was so impactful that they actually made a commercial that has not aired, but they ended up putting me on a fucking billboard for the school. They thought that my story was so interesting that they put my face on a billboard on a major highway to represent the school. So when I say my accomplishments have earned me something, it has. And you goddamn right, G-Man. I don't measure my accomplishments by what's on YouTube. When you have your face on a billboard on a major highway, you let me know. You let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. If it's not in the back of a fucking milk carton, I don't think you're going to be on it. Like, that's the reality of it. That is a simple reality of it. If you think that somehow, Tommy, that you are above sitting down and learning from someone, I have news for you, man. That just makes you look dumb. That makes you look stupid. And you will forever be cutting the grass of people who have accomplished more in life than you. If that's what you love doing, then do it. And if you love doing that, if you are great at it, there's nothing wrong with having a decent ass job. Because Shani made a video and didn't actually listen to what the fuck I said and went off because she needed to suck G-Man's dick through the monitor. If she would have actually listened to what the fuck I said, you'd have heard me say that you can't be in a position to where you're trying to implicate people, professionals, mind you, professionals in a field, when you know very little about the field and about the person, and that you need to stay in your fucking lane if you can. I can't go and say what this fucking lawyer's doing, that there's some malfeasance going on, if I don't understand law. I don't have the background to even figure that out. I can speculate all day, all different types of stuff I can throw in there. I can throw in the kitchen sink. But if you don't possess the knowledge, at least some of the knowledge, to know the basics of what's going on, you're just pissing in the wind. And these guys seem not to understand that. And it's so odd that they have this struggle where they want to think that if they learn everything through YouTube, that'll somehow amount to something. It doesn't. It really doesn't. This fucker doesn't even know if DNA degrades in water. You want to know how I know that? I fucking asked him. He still doesn't know. But yet he knows there's a conspiracy to kill people. Yet he knows there a misattributed quote from a fucking British prince that he thought was somebody else. That's what he spends his time learning. Like, it's just crazy. It's too crazy. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Tommy actually hires other people to do the hard work for him. I've noticed that since moving here. There's actually quite a few individuals like Tommy who work at the as part of the groundskeepers for the place that I live and for my son's school. I see a lot of that. That's just a old habit that hasn't died in America, but you know. All right, let me get through the rest of this fucking video.
Vegetables with fiber in it, in these micronutrients in it, that is going to prevent people getting sick. Your Doc Savage didn't even know that water was a nutrient. I have all these wonderful private conversations with scientists now. I sure you do. I'm pretty sure you're calling us retarded every 5 minutes when you're talking to her in private.
Didn't see that, Tyler. Oh.
Pretty sure that's what you're doing. Because that woman doesn't say anything on your scientific, but I will say this.
So the Doc Savage thing, I've noticed that G-Man will get upset when he thinks people misrepresent him. But actually, Doc Savage is immediately after the conversation when we did the hangout, or excuse me, the after hangout. Doc Savage said, and I should say, he reiterated that water is essential, but it is not a nutrient. And when G-Man repeated the question, Doc Savage repeated the response. It's essential. It's not a nutrient. You notice how he's completely missed that. Like he doesn't even include it in any of the criteria that I guess he's trying to lay out. But he's upset that people misrepresent him. G-Man, what do you call that? Do you call that a misrepresentation? Like if you want to argue that your definition of nutrient is something different than his, then that's fine, and we can have a discussion about that. But don't sit here and act like he didn't qualify the statement, because I don't think there's anyone here that thinks that water isn't essential for us as organisms. But you know what? It is what it is.
I did take the liberty to go visit her YouTube channel.
Oh, he visited YouTube. He didn't do no reading. He visited. Oh, good job, G-Man. Good job. You illiterate ass.
Doing things that I'm not doing nothing. She's on here talking. And if you look at the trailer of her channel, she says she got all these. She got like 3 or 4 degrees, like various different things. She must be new to YouTube because she's got about 700 subscribers. She's got more than me. That's for certain. Since GTV is a separate entity for my G-Man channel, she's certainly got more subscribers than me. So she's got a voice.
What does that matter?
We're listening to her, mainly because she's a woman.
Oh.
I mean, let's keep it real. I don't think there's anything that's coming out of here. I think it's because she's a woman.
Wait, who is he talking about?
What is she really saying that's going to impact me?
Hold on for a second.
That's for certain. Since GTV is a separate entity for my G-Man channel, she's certainly got more subscribers than me. So she's got a voice.
Hold on.
Visit her YouTube channel.
Hold on.
Vegetables and take better care of your body.
I miss something.
I don't need to go to the military, and I certainly don't need to go to college to understand that I eat an apple. I'm preventing my body from getting sick. If I eat more oranges and pineapples with vitamin C and eat more fruit and vegetables with fiber in it and these micronutrients in it, that is going to prevent me from getting sick. You're a Doc Savage didn't even know that water was a nutrient. I have all these wonderful private conversations with scientists now. I sure you do. I'm pretty sure you're calling us retarded every 5 minutes when you're talking to her in private.
Oh, yeah, he is talking about Mel.
I'm pretty sure that's what you're doing. Because that woman doesn't say anything on your scientific. But I will say this. I did take the liberty to go visit her YouTube channel.
You did.
Because she's doing things that I'm not doing nothing. She's on here talking. If you look at the trailer of her channel, she says, she got like 3 or 4 degrees. Like various different things. She must be new to YouTube because she's got about 700 subscribers. She's got more than me. That's for certain. Since GTV is a separate entity for my G-Man channel, she's certainly got more subscribers than me. So she's got a voice. People are listening to her, mainly because she's a woman.
Mainly because she's a woman.
I don't think there's anything that's coming out of here. I think it's because she's a woman.
Wow. Wow. So there's no science on here. That's definitely for damn sure. There's no definitely no science.
So today.
Nope, no science. No science of HIV, history, and immune. Oh man, look at that. There's nothing. So could it possibly be? Possibly be that she may actually know what the fuck she's talking about? Is it possible? But you know what? Hey, if you think, I mean, if you want to say that she's a woman, let's be real. If you are new on here and you're a woman and you're showing titties, then yes, you'll get lots of subscribers. But I don't think she's not showing. She's not trying to be sexy. She's trying to give information. So if you want to make that argument, G-Man, if you want to, let's be real about it, then she's not doing a very good job, because there's lots of women channels. Like, let's see, you know what? Let's go. Female cosplay. Let's see. Where is? If you want to see channels that get a lot of hits because they're women, you know, you need to look at some of this shit. I'm just saying, like, if you really want to be that kind of guy, just having women do shit like this will garner a lot of views. So, like, if that's your scheme, but I find it interesting. That you've not actually looked at the content of her channel, and that you went straight to the fact that she has vagina. Hell, like that. Like, if you can't be, you don't do the sexist shit halfway. If she's a woman and she's attractive and she's showing something to make guys dick hard, then you'd have an argument. But she's on here offering scientific knowledge. Now, if she's new to YouTube, she's not gonna have a bunch of subscribers. But then again, is her goal to get a bunch of subscribers, or is it just to put out a message that may or may not reach folks? Because it seems as though you think that everyone has this weird goal in life that you have. Maybe her goals in life are actually been achieved, and that she's just doing this shit for fun. Maybe that's it. Thanks, Doc Savage. So maybe you should actually learn a little bit about other people's goals before you start trying to compare. Like, you're trying to do this weird dick measuring with everyone because you failed in life, and that this is the only thing that you have to call an accomplishment. Hey, like, I mean, that's to me, that's what it seems to be. And there we go. Let me share this. Ooh, damn it. Here we go. Put it in chat. Okay. I'm sharing this. Boom. Okay. So if you're going to go whole hog on this and then be the ignoramus that you normally are, then at least you could point to something that's really drawing people's attention, because she can't be doing shitty as a channel, but then she's doing shitty. But then she's doing well because she's a woman. Like, I guess that's what I'm having a hard time trying to reconcile. Like, you can't say that she has subscribers, some more than you on this channel, because she's a woman. But here's the thing: you've had this channel a lot longer than she's had. So then, is that the standard now? Because if she has more than you, and she's a woman, shouldn't she be closer to your other channel? If it's some accelerated fucking thing that guys are just getting hard listening to a woman speak about science, like, it helped me understand that, because it's not a coherent argument. So help me understand, because if, like I said, man, if you're gonna go whole hog on this shit, at least make a coherent argument with it.
Okay, but what is she really saying that's going to impact me?
Probably nothing, because you can't learn. Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly, because you can't learn.
Channel to create, well, one of the reasons why I'm on here,
to run your mouth,
destroying and bashing and pulverizing evolution into oblivion.
I'm
talk about real science that's actually going to benefit people and help people to be more, have more, and grow more. Not to.
I have to set up Tasty. She's not set up right now. She's in a different incarnation, so I cannot do Tasty.
Create a channel where I can get noticed on YouTube. I have yet to hear you beat the argument to B17. I haven't heard you say anything against a healthy diet. You guys actually went in your room laughing about me talking about a healthy diet, but I expect that from a bunch of.
Did you listen to what the fuck we said, you dumb bitch? Like, I just, do you not hear the shit that we literally have been talking about? That's the most non-controversial part of any of these conversations. Like, how fucking dumb are you? When have any of us said that you shouldn't have a balanced diet? Please find anything even close to that. What we were laughing at is the fact that you guys think that that's controversial, and that no one has said anything otherwise. That's what we were laughing at. When did you just please take your bald head from out of your ass and actually listen to the shit that people are saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kifa. You're laughing at me describing injecting brine as GMO. He didn't even know what that was because I looked at it. I was like, he doesn't even know what the fuck these dudes were doing in the video. And then I think Jade had pointed out that that looks like they're brown. I was like, oh shit, no wonder that looks familiar. I do that on fucking Thanksgiving. I inject Cajun tasty seasoning inside turkeys, inside their breasticles, and inside their legs and make them all nice and plump and juicy. And I fry them fuckers. Like he has no idea. He just guesses. That's why I did that stupid ass video where I went to the the grocery store, and I started, is this GMOs? Is this GMOs? Where are the GMOs at? I mean, eat all GMOs. Like he has no fucking idea about any of this stuff. He watches a YouTube video or two, and he gets hopped up on his own fucking farts, and then he thinks he knows shit. Like it's fucking crazy. Cajun injections of GMOs, folks. Beware that dangerous salt water. Beware.
I expect that from a bunch of Twinkie eaters who watch TV all day.
Twinkie eaters.
Because according to you, I'm sorry, Drag, you just started working out. You make videos when you walk. See, I'm so focused when I'm working out. I don't think about that. Sorry, I just go out there and I take care of my business. You know what I mean?
Take care of business. Wait, hold on for a second. G-Man, are you really trying to so tell me something, G-Man. When you first met me and I rolled up behind you and I said, what's good? And you backed the fuck up real quick. Was that the result of all this training, like years and years of training? And when I went and shook your hand and I squeezed it and you went to your knees like a bitch in prison, was that the result of your training where you had to beg me to release you? Was that it? Or was it when you wanted to try and save face and then do an arm wrestling competition while we were in a fucking barbecue restaurant and you lost all 3 times? Was that the result of your training too? So tell, at what point are we going to see the results of all this training from someone who admittedly fell off the fucking wagon the second he got out the fucking military? Like, if you want to be the HNIC, then you need to actually play the part. Like I love all this posturing. I love all this posturing that you do, but you forget that people saw that. You forget that I made you into a bitch when I saw you. Like, don't sit here and pretend like you can do something to somebody or that you're gonna just somehow grow a few inches and you're gonna be a big nigga. Like, I'm just come out right and say it. You are not. Stop pretending like you are about that life. You are a bitch on the internet and you are a bitch in real life. And I demonstrated that in front of people just to prove a point. You can sit here and look, we wanted to get video of it. Hannah's the only one who stopped us from getting video of it. Because this dude talks so much shit in real life. But if you ever run across him in person, he turns into a bitch. And I think Tommy's a lot the same way. Very soft-spoken, very soft hand, very limp wrists. Like, these guys like to pretend to be big men. They like to pretend to be big dogs. But it's like, I've met real men who have killed other men. And I fought with them, fought alongside them, and fought them. I know what real men look like. I've lived with them. I've fought with them. Don't pretend that you're something that you're not. Like, that's one of the advantages of being in the military. You get to be around the manliest men who've ever menned. So I don't understand where all this posturing is coming from. I really don't understand it, G-Man. But what's even great about this scenario is that I specifically remember challenging G-Man to a physical contest. I said, look, I'm in the best shape of my life. When I was in, G-Man didn't want a piece. I was like, look, and it wasn't a fight. It wasn't a fight. It was, I said, well, G-Man, if you want to have a lifting contest, you want to have a sprinting contest, we can do it, man. Because trust me, and he didn't want any. And of course, he doesn't remember that, but it's like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Rand Campbell. Rand Campbell was talking his shit. And I said, look, I'll meet you outside the gates and I'll drag your ass back to the MPs. He didn't want any either. So don't try this shit with somebody who has lived that life. That's not me anymore. But I don't see a purpose to all this posturing. Like, just stop it. Like, just stop that stupid shit, because it's just it doesn't impress me. I don't after meeting you, I kind of confirm that you have this like inferiority complex that you need to kind of like puff your chest out a little bit to feel like you're the big man. But it's like, if you live that life, you don't have to pretend. Like, that's the good thing. That's the good thing. I can say now, I'm gonna focus on brains rather than brawn. I'm gonna focus on helping people, in a different capacity. That's what I'm about. And I can leave that shit in the past. But what kind of irks me is that this guy, he puts on this fucking front like he is somebody to contend with. And that's probably why he has all these fucking WWE fantasies where he has to pretend like he's Hulk Hogan or Dwayne Johnson and shit like that. Like, he's like, geez, man, just can you get off a dude's nuts? Can you stop dick riding this grown ass man and be yourself? Be happy in your own skin. Can you do that? Can you be secure with yourself? Go love yourself. Because at the very beginning of this fucking video, he looks like he's about to fucking cry. He's having a sad. And now we listen to about an hour's worth of him having his fucking sad. But you know what? This is how he lives. This is the life that he lives. And it's like, you have this, at some point you feel sorry for him. I'm not gonna take his WWE, I'm not gonna take his fantasies away from him. Like, it's, at one point in time I wanted to be tough like Dwayne Johnson. I wanted to be big like that and just be able to have a cheat day where I eat a fucking 2 stacks of pancakes and fucking 4 pizzas and shit like that. By the way, as a side note, if you've never seen a video on Facebook or on YouTube of Dwayne Johnson, The Rock's cheat day meal, you need to go watch it. It is ridiculous, the amount of calories this guy eats on his cheat days. Like, the stuff that would feed a family of 4 for the entire day, he can eat himself. And it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But then you look at his workouts and it's like, I can't, I just, no. So anyway, back to this nonsense.
Time for that. And when I do make my occasional video when I'm out there, it's usually to show people what I'm doing with my time. No, Dragnauct, I never think it's a waste of time to create awareness. It's never, ever a waste of time to create awareness. That's why you got your YouTube channel. You're trying to normalize atheism.
Normalize atheism.
The non-sequitur show, guys. To normalize atheism. I'm not stupid. I see what's going on around here.
I see what's going on around here. I know what you guys are doing. Because that right there, folks, is the look of confidence. You see that? That he knows what's going on. And so that is the face of someone who knows what's going on. I'm no psychoanalyst. I don't do facial recognition and all this stuff, but I do pick up on a few things. I think I'm fairly accurate. This face really doesn't tell me confidence. This face doesn't tell me I know what I'm talking about. This face tells me that, shit, I just fucking said something that I don't think is all that right. Yeah, if you come out of retirement to box Tommy, he's going to forget his boxing and think his wrestling and try and get you from fucking full Nelson, so he'd be in prime position for other things. But anyway, yeah, by the way, let me blow this up. There we go. So if anybody wants to take a screenshot of this, feel free. This is the face of confidence. Actually, let me do 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 boo boo do do boo do 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 boom do 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 do. Yeah, I think that works. I think that's fitting because I don't see anything on the front of the hat. So yeah, let me move it a little bit. I just want to move the box. I just want to move the box. I don't want to. Can I just? No, can I move the whole box? I should know how to do this. It's my program. Oh, there we go. Just gotta drag it. There we go. Will it sit like this? Yeah, I think it's sit like that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. The face of confidence. You're right. You're right. He would say, "Thank you for correcting me." Boom. Okay. I'm a idiot. Okay. There we go. I'm a idiot. All right.
To say I'm wasting my time talking to the wrong person on this net, regardless. If you can't prove it, then you're just talking out of your butt. And I find that odd. That's the number one argument you got against us people of faith. That we can't prove anything that we believe.
Is that argument I make?
And you can't prove it. Apparently, you're justified.
I make that claim? Is that something I say?
So I'll say this again, ladies and gentlemen. There are alternatives to treating cancer.
You're right.
And if you believe that chemotherapy is the only way to kill cancer while it's living in your body,
never said that.
You need to go see a doctor. You need to go see a doctor.
Wait. So we need to see a doctor. The same doctors that you say are prescribing the chemo. How does that work again, G-Man?
Doctor for brain cells that you've been losing for listening to people like Dragnauct.
So he's making a joke here about you losing brain cells listening to me. But if the doctors are the ones who are prescribing the chemo and they're lying in their pockets, why would you then go to a doctor for brain cell loss? I'm actually confused, but I don't think that he's realized that his insult actually contradicts the things that he's actually saying about chemotherapy. But again, G-Man, and consistency isn't something that you would find in the same universe.
And these other people. Chemotherapy is not the only way. There's immunotherapy. There's certain oils you can take. There's shark liver oil.
Wait, did he just say immunotherapies? Please tell me that he. Oh my God. There are. So, without saying too much, folks, one of G-Man's alternatives to chemotherapy is immunotherapy. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Go look up what immunotherapy is real quick. Just take your time. I'm not going to say anything because he's not going to catch on until later. Just take your time. Go look up immunotherapy. Go look up the description of what it is. Okay? And then think about what he just said. This is an alternative now that he's mentioning to the traditional methods that he abhors so much. Yeah. He'll realize later. But you know what, folks? I mentioned earlier that the shark liver oil is actually a carcinogen, but he may realize that later. Let's see. Dr. Savage says, I've invited Tommy to prosecute me for conspiracy to mass murder and crimes against humanity. We'll see how he backpedals that with his nuts and advice. Yeah, once you actually press him on some of the stuff, he's pretty funny. It's like, oh, I actually need to do that. I can't actually do physical. I know I can't do all that type of big thinking and paperwork. That hurts my brain. I can't do all that. Paco, come hither and write me up one of them documents for persecuting an individual for heinous crimes against humanity. You know how to don't type in that Latin stuff, Latin American language. Type in English here, okay? I need you to do this because this man on the internets that I've been talking to has been saying and doing things of malicious nature, and I catch the vapors every time I talks to the man. My goodness, come here now. Don't call me Tommy. I said call me Mr. Hall. Okay, my name is Mr. Hall. Okay, bring my pointing stick. Where's my pointing stick? Thank you. And tell Andre over there that I said switching to them shorts Them shorts I gave him last time. Don't tell him when he enters my residence, he needs to wear them shorts that I bought him. Not them pants. Them pants too baggy for his ass. Oh, don't ask me why I turned. Don't ask me why I turned Tommy into a plantation owner. I just thought it'd be funny because I kind of imagine him, they're in the antebellum fucking South with Mexicans instead of black slaves, and so that tickles me to imagine that. So, anyway, one of Tommy's ancestors.
In which the properties has been found in both shark cartilage and shark liver oil to treat to help actually make your body stronger while you're going through chemotherapy, and then two, to also rid your body of these cancer cells. No, there's not a waste of time and Dragnauct, if you can't even handle what I'm talking about with cancer, give me 2 days when I start talking about HIV.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun.
I believe about that. You're gonna lose your stuff when you hear when I start talking.
Okay, so I've noticed that, and I actually need to make an aside. I keep forgetting that people, I guess, aren't in tune with a lot of the things that I know. So in certain, let's say, certain ethnic circles, there is a conspiracy, actually a very prevalent one that you'd be surprised how many people believe that that HIV is I should say, that HIV virus is a synthetic virus made by white people, the government, to control black populations. And it just so happens to proliferate mainly in black circles. And so that's like the evidence that people use for that. Now, it is kind of fed by other nefarious things that the government has perpetrated against black communities. So its credence is based off of actual events, and that's kind of the hard part about combating this notion that, well, even if I go, okay, well, if this was possible, you would have a leg to stand on, but we simply don't have that type of technology. Plus, white people can get this disease too. So if there was a cure and it was, just very, very expensive, Magic Johnson would actually be rid of HIV. So there's a number of videos, and I put this in quote, documentaries out there about how this was supposedly created. One of the one comes from a movie series called Hidden Colors, and if you're black, you probably never heard of it or seen it. So Hidden Colors actually describes one of these scenarios and one of these conspiracies. Now, whether certain other parts of Hidden Colors is real or fake, that's up for debate. But there is a conspiracy in one. I think it's the second Hidden Colors movie that talks about this, and someone feel free to correct me, the few people who actually know what I'm talking about. One of the other, I'll say, and I'll put this in quotes, documentaries that I've seen is how HIV was spread, and that it was spread supposedly by mixed, I forgot the guy's name who came with the polio vaccine, him doing tests on monkeys, monkey, test subjects for polio, and that they were taking serum from the monkeys, and that these monkeys had simian immunodeficiency. And so that's then how they posit that it spread into humans in parts of Africa, where there was some type of lab that was testing, the monkeys in the area, and that they inoculated Africans in this area with the polio virus, or vaccine rather. And then that's then how the devastation of AIDS proliferated supposedly. Now, I cannot remember the name of this documentary. I saw it many years ago, but it's a pretty interesting one. It is pretty interesting. But yeah, okay. So it was Hidden Colors too. Yeah, so yeah, I was right about that. But that documentary is very interesting. It was actually very, very entertaining. But yeah, Hidden Colors does assert that HIV was fabricated, right? I should say synthesized by people, which is false. So if you're wondering where that notion came from, that's more than likely where G-Man's getting it from. So we'll see, and we'll see if I'm right. And I have another good screen cap here of this G-Man, the kind of look.
What about that? And it's not even just about HIV. There's a whole bunch of other illnesses out there I want to talk about too. I might get into some of these other illnesses on this YouTube channel. Talk about the real science behind what's going on.
Real science.
Not just religious the pseudo evolutionary garbage that you guys are repeating here on the internet. Right? Not just because you disagree with me doesn't make you right. I haven't heard you articulate or make a sound argument against myself or Tommy Hall on why we are wrong.
Really?
Instead of you assuming what I'm not doing, and instead of you assuming what I am doing, what you should do is come into this room one day and actually tell me to my face in a live Google Hangout why my science is wrong. You want to know why you're not going to do that, Dragnauct, and why you're going to make that excuse?
Because you block me?
Mel and so many other people in here are going to make this excuse where you're not worth my time because you don't got an answer for the things that I'm saying. And you need time to do your research. So this is what we're going to do. Mel is banned from GTV.
Good.
She will never. And The Rock means never.
Really?
Get the opportunity to go one-on-one with me.
Really?
Never.
Really? Was that necessary? Is it named 12 Monkeys? No, it's not. Doc Savage, I gave you mods, so you should be able to share that link now. Just put it in quotes and try to see if that works. Doc Savage. Yeah, sorry I had to stop it. And I forgot that Doc Savage, for some reason, I didn't give him mods. But he should be able to share that.
Now that was just to be a little entertaining.
Oh.
I understand that this is probably not the channel for that. The scientist Mel, this woman who disrespects people with mental illness, will never step foot on GTV until she makes a public apology video.
Okay, so literally everyone else who is not stupid understands that the comment that Mel made is a very common comment that people make when the word retard is used. When the person who is the target of the insult is just willfully ignorant and stupid. Because if you've ever actually met and dealt with someone who has maybe Down syndrome or something, they're actually very capable people. And there's a spectrum with that. G-Man is willfully ignorant. And so because some of these individuals, some of these people we refer to as mentally retarded, they have mental impediments that prevent them from having the amount of knowledge and the amount of skill as other people in most areas, not all, that it's an insult to them to say that these willfully ignorant people are on par with them. That is an insult to them because they try their damnedest to learn and do and be as capable of anyone else. G-Man, however, Tommy, however, True, however, are lazy fucks who are just inept. It has nothing to do with, well, I think G-Man to a lesser degree, I think there is something wrong with him mentally. But these other guys, they don't have those types of impediments. The reason they can't excel is due to their own inability to actually push themselves hard enough and to strive to be better than they are. So that's why it's an insult to them, because people who have Down syndrome try their damnedest, and they do. If you've ever met them, you know that. That's why it's an insult, G-Man, because you are less than them.
To all people out there who are retarded, if she can't do that, that woman will never come on the YouTube channel.
So when he called me to bitch about this, I asked him 3 times if he understood what that comment meant. He never answered me. So the next time he brings this up to folks, ask him how many times Drag asked you to explain what that comment that Mel made, what it actually meant.
Nor will she ever be on my main channel. And if she comes in a sock, she'll be talking, and then I'll boot her.
She doesn't. Look, I told this cat that she doesn't want to deal with him. I don't know why he has this issue where people, especially women, tell him, I don't want to deal with you. He still obsesses about him. I've explicitly told him Mel wants nothing to do with you. I still have the messages. It's in plain English, small words, big font, so he can understand it. She wants nothing to do with you. She does not want to talk to you. She does not want to text you. She will not eat eggs and ham with you. She will not eat it on a dam. She will not eat it on top of Sam. She does not want to deal with you. So making all these pronouncements about how she can't get in contact with you is useless because she never wanted to in the first place. What about that's like there's something wrong with G-Man where people say I don't want to fuck with you because you're a fucking idiot. That he interprets that as, oh, well, maybe one day they'll want to talk. No, no, they will contact you. You don't have to make all these pronouncements. Just assume that what they said they fucking meant. Not everyone is as wishy-washy as you. Not everyone is as emotional as you. So stop assuming that people somehow, when they say I don't fuck with you, that means, well, maybe one day I'll see his brilliance. No, that's not what people mean when they say that, G-Man. They really just don't want to fuck with you because you're a weirdo.
I won't even ask questions. If somebody comes in my room with her voice, I will kick her out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that, G-Man. Calm down. It's okay. Take your time and think. Subject, predicate, agreement.
A lot of these evolutionists, because now we're going to get off his little letter and whatnot, and maybe I'll get back on it in a minute. The reason why a lot of these evolutionists on here are so butthurt about what I'm doing on here, they can't stand to know that a Christian actually knows something about science. It's something more than they do. Because I'm going to sit here and say that.
Oh, yeah. So thank you, Doc Savage, for reminding me about that. So in the discussion between Tommy and Doc Savage, there will more than likely be a snide comment by Tommy about Doc Savage's condition, which is Parkinson's disease. So we've seen Tommy make snide remarks to 13 Heathens about his diabetic condition. So the prediction has been made that he will do the same to Doc Savage. So let me mention Tommy's effeminate demeanor or his inability to actually, do anything in the fields that he talks about. He gets his ass hurt, but he feels the need to make passive aggressive snide comments towards people. That's cool because he's a nice, sensitive gentleman. So there it is.
The majority of these knuckleheads in the GDC don't know jack squat about this topic and can't take me away. See, McRae can, he's the president. Saka had his opportunity. He will never get a chance to do it.
Saka doesn't want to.
There ain't nobody in the GDC that can touch me or Tommy Hall on this topic. You definitely ain't going to touch me on it. I mean, if Doc Savage couldn't do it, what makes you think you're going to do it and you don't even got a degree? And I know most of you are just popping potato chips in your mouth and ain't taking care of yourself. But you got to believe and hope that chemotherapy is going to help you. You can't let go of your potato chips and your carcinogenic food.
Oh, that chocolate oil. No, I'm not gonna unblock Uncle Sam. He's been out of pocket for a bit, so he's gonna stay in timeout for a little while.
So I know Dragnauct was attempting to be serious. He was attempting to appeal to emotion, and he was worshiping at the feet of scientist Mel. And he was worshiping at the feet of Doc Savage and the rest of these
worshiping.
But guys, ever since I was ever since high school, I want to say in grammar school, I've always been the type of person to ask questions. Okay, and when somebody says something to me, I'm gonna ask a question to see whether or not it's valid or not. It's because Dragnauct's got his lips so far up scientist Mills behind, and because he doesn't want to question her, that's his business. It ain't mine.
Jealousy.
I see how you guys are drooling all over that woman, and how you guys got
jealousy,
like fantasies that you want to have. I mean, I watch
fantasies
when you're around this woman.
Fantasies.
And I don't get it, and I don't see why. I'm sorry.
Somebody sounds a little jealous. Do y'all hear this? He sounds a little jealous. Just have my mouth up her ass and drooling all over her. Man, somebody sounds a little jealous. Why? Now, maybe G-Man wants to eat her booty. I mean, that's quite graphic. My goodness. That's yeah, projection. Thank you. Yeah. It's like I like talking to Mel, But if you ask her what we talk about, it ain't had nothing to do with my mouth in her ass. But I mean, damn. Yeah, that is bitterness. You're right. I'm thinking back to I tell people what we're talking about though. Like that's the funny thing. I've told people exactly what we discuss, but he just pulled this shit out of. Mm, oh, it's fine. He can mirror it. I don't go to his channel. I don't watch any of his stuff. So I mean, he wants attention. I'm not giving it to him. But this is funny. Like I'm curious how long he's actually going to keep this up. I'm curious how long that he's gonna like play this whole thing out because he has some ideas. Uh, uh, hold on for a second. Balls. Okay. Let's see. What 41, 44? Yeah, 41, 44. So yeah, any other maybe am I sending her dick pics too? Like is what else is going on here?
I'm not into stuck up, cocky, narcissistic, ego-driven people and whatnot.
What? Are you for real, bro? Let me put on a closed caption. I'm not into stuck up, cocky, narcissistic, evil, ego-driven people. Okay. All right. Okay, G-Man. Just cocky, narcissistic, ego-driven man. Okay.
I'm not into that. I like a kind, humble spirit.
It's a humble spirit. Humble pie.
People who are willing to teach. Those are the people I want to be around.
Look, quit telling people that, G-Man. Just like, oh, come on. Okay? You don't want to learn. We've spent time with you in real life trying to teach you. Everywhere there was you can say it was a spectrum. Let's put it like that. There was a spectrum of knowledge from no education all the way to PhD. And every step of the way, tried to teach your ass something in real time around real objects that dealt with the topic. You didn't want to learn. You absorbed nothing from our time that we spent on vacation to teach you. So why do you think that people now believe you when you say you want to learn? Quit saying that because you're lying. Like people saw the hangouts that happened afterwards. You'd rather believe some fucking cave troll in fucking Gary, Indiana that knows a dick all about the topic. That's who you rather listen to. You rather get the information out of the tip of Tommy's dick. So don't sit here and pretend like you want to learn something, because the second you talk about your interactions with these people, you're trying to push them on what they're trying to teach you. Like, how can you challenge something you don't know anything about? It's so when we say that you're not being consistent, G-Man, this is one of the things. Your actions show that you're being dishonest now, because mind you, again, some of us have experienced you and your abilities to learn. Okay. Secondly, in this video, you've talked about your interactions and what you do and what you say with people who do know this topic. You're trying to fight them tooth and nail on the shit that they already know. How does that scenario become conducive towards learning? Maybe you could explain that part, because that's not too consistent. I don't go and challenge my professor on molecular biology. I ask questions. I want him to clarify things. I ask qualifying questions to the stuff that we're talking about, but I'm not challenging his explanation of zDNA. I don't know the shit. That's why I'm there to fucking learn. So don't say that you're trying to challenge and learn at the same time, because they don't go hand in hand. It's crazy, but you really don't see exactly how inconsistent you are.
I don't want to be around, and somebody who knows how to disagree and disagree eloquently. Not somebody who's a conceited, cocky narcissist who needs to be thrown into a cage until they actually learn how to like bring it down a couple of notches, because she thinks more highly of herself than what she actually is.
Oh man!
Like I listened to the conversation with Tommy Owen. Apparently, cigarette smoke doesn't affect pH. This woman said a lot of things that would utterly wipe the floor with Owen.
I had to blow my nose.
So is she worth my time? Absolutely not. Let's get the totem pole right here, guys, for a moment. All right? Just because I'm humoring her, don't mean we are on the same stratosphere. She's teaching you to die. I'm teaching you to live. She's in a death cult. What do you expect?
A death cult.
She's gonna believe putting radiation in your body is healthy.
That hate.
There's nothing healthy about putting radiation in your body. Go ask the people who are dead who took chemotherapy.
Go ask the people who are dead. Is that something you do? You talk to the dead, G-Man? Calm down. It's okay. He's so upset.
So anyway,
Look, just calm down, bro. I know I'm getting the white woman attention that you desire, but she's obviously not into you. Not like that. I don't think she's into any of us like you would like to be into her, but it's sad that there's so much vitriol here that you really are just obviously perturbed by Mel not wanting anything to do with you. You're now like a scorned lover, and it's really weird. It's it's not a good look for you, my man. It's not a good look for you. If you want to appear worthy enough to speak to some of these folks, it doesn't have to be Mel. It doesn't have to be a woman who looks good and who is smart too. It's okay. It is all right. I'm pretty sure that there are prostitutes in your local area who look at least halfway decent and don't have near as many fucking diseases that you can name that will take time and speak to you and make you feel the love that you obviously didn't get as a child. It is perfectly fine. But in the meantime, in the between time, you're not going to get the audience of someone who obviously just doesn't see you as worthy of her time. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe if you would act your age, she might be inclined. No, actually, no, she wouldn't be. Sorry. And you want to know how I know it? Because I asked her on several occasions, and she's made it perfectly clear, crystal, adamantium. She's made it solid that she wants nothing to do with you. Perhaps that could spur something within you. Perhaps maybe you could reflect on your shitty behavior and wonder, man, maybe the reason why her and other people don't want to speak to me is because of the way I fucking behave. Could it possibly be something about yourself that repels her and other people? Man. No, it can't be. No, you're do you, G-Man. Do you. It's obviously nothing wrong with you and this weird obsession you have with women who are actually fucking smart. It's not a market that you're going to corner anytime soon with friendship, with romantic relations. It's just, you know what? Some women like sapiosexual. Some women are sapiosexual. Some women like intelligent guys. Some women like guys who they can learn from and who don't demean them and tell them they need to go in the fucking kitchen, and who call them, what is that, fucking barracuda? Like, I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm like, if she goes and sucks 50 dicks, she's still gonna be fucking, degree holder. She's still gonna have a better job than you have. She's still gonna be doing good in life. She's still gonna feel good about herself. If she goes and jumps on 100 dicks, she's still doing better than you. And that doesn't speak to her fucking character. So you trying to like demean her and suppose what her fucking sexual her sexual mores are like I don't get this. because it has nothing to do with you other than it seems like you're jealous. Maybe you wish that she was, you know, I, I don't know. Like it's really hard to say other than the obvious that he is butthurt that she won't deal with him. Hold on. Y'all are killing me with these Facebook messages. All right. It's almost over. This is painful. Fucking painful.
That's me putting a stamp of approval on my letter and sending it back to you.
Oh, okay.
All is in your court.
Thank you.
I will not be responding to no more of your open letters. If you have something that you want to say about now, Dragnauct, this is not difficult right now.
No.
And I want you to pay attention. Get across to the audience. This is just for you. It's all about you, Brett King. So check this out. Why
Brett King.
do you believe I'm wrong about what I'm saying about cancer?
Situation.
Can you make one video without the cussing, the joking,
nope,
the appealing to emotion, without all the logical fallacy? Can you make
without all the logical
video,
fallacy?
just one video on your YouTube channel without the help of scientist Mel, your Lord and Savior, and your Lord and Savior Doc Savage? If you can just, since I'm not on your level and you know so much more than I do, can you please make one video that I can respond to where you disagree with the things that I said on this channel? Can you please take the clips of what I said and make it into an official video?
Official video.
Please, deal with what I said in context.
Wait, he wants people to deal with stuff in context, like he does. So let me. Okay, so this because he sent me a text message about some challenge that he. I was like, I'll watch it. I might watch your shit later. So I sent him that last night. So how about this? You're not gonna tell me how to make no fucking video and what the stipulations. That's no. You can't control your fucking self. Okay? You can't. You cannot even control your basic motions to just lash out and be an ass. All right? Don't sit here and tell me that I need to not cuss and this, that, and the other when you can barely hang on to your sanity at any given time. All right? If you want to talk about, you know, who's on whose level, that's not how this works. You can't take people's statements in context. I sent this motherfucker a text message the other day because he's doing that passive aggressive, you know, you need to come to Christ and repent and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, I should have responded, bitch, suck my dick, you know. But I said, you know what, G-Man, there's plenty of mental health facilities in your local area. You should check them out. I'm being passive aggressive back. I'm not being lewd and didn't put what I wanted to put. And so this fucker turns around and says, you agree with forbidden fruit. And I'm just like, how in your pea brain did you manage to fuck that up so bad? You think all religious people are mentally ill. I'm like, are you serious? Like, am I like, let me reload the chat thing here. Let me reload my messages. Maybe I misread that. Maybe I just thought. Maybe I thought he said this. Nope, he really did. He really fucking did. And I'm just like, you have got to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever run across in my goddamn life. I said nothing to that. I have never even spoken to forbidden fruit. Anytime I mention him, I'm shitting on him. What would make you think that I agree with this guy? Like I have old videos where I talk about that specific topic where I go, that's stupid. Soccer account ran forbidden fruit off the YouTube, the Google tubes. But that's the level of discourse that we have here, like with this guy. Like it's and I'm not saying anything new. I'm repeating myself. Like that's the stupidity of him, but he wants people to deal with stuff in context. I'm just contrasting the standards that he wants other people to abide by with what he does himself. I mean, it's like, how about you raise the bar for yourself and then you can kind of start demanding shit of people, because you are a shit show. You are a walking, talking, living, eating, breathing, shitting, pissing shit show. When you up your game, then you can kind of start making demands of other people. But since you are a sideshow freak, a sideshow attraction that garners attention for other people's channels, then you know what? You don't get to make demands, bro. That's not how this works. That is not how this works. That's like you can barely hang on to your sanity when you're dealing with Tommy, just like he can't hang on to his sexuality. Well, you know what? Some things are frivolous. Some things are, fleeting. It just really depends. It really depends.
Because you surround yourself with people who blow smoke up your behind.
Really?
That's all you do. You don't have any other voices in the room where people can disagree with you. It's too bad we don't got a neutral channel here on the internet.
So I don't have a policy about my hangouts, and we don't have a policy that we've extended into Talking Shit Tuesday where if we talk about you, you're more than welcome into the room. The only time that we've actually suspended it is when we were talking about Tommy and Scientist Mel wanted nothing to do with him. That's the only known time we've suspended that rule. Because I've had that rule for quite some time, along with Just a Tip. And actually, Just a Tip is the second part of my rule about if I talk about you, you're invited. So, G-Man, that's just demonstrably fucking false, bro. Don't sit here and pretend like I don't offer people the opportunity to come in. When people are in my chat running their mouth, like, what was his name? Chaos Theory, I think it is. Every time he pops up and starts dick riding you or one of these other cats, I say, why don't you come in the room? Oh, not right now. And then all these excuses, then he'll sit in the chat for another 20 minutes running his mouth. So, G-Man, at least act like I've been somewhat consistent in the last few years. I am very consistent in that. I even had a hangout where I had people come in, people that you claim blow smoke up my ass. They came in and criticized the fuck out of me. And I wrote the shit down. I took it seriously. Some things I've improved on, some things I haven't. I have an entire hangout just dedicated to people criticizing me. So don't pretend like I'm you. I don't need to surround myself with a fucking circle jerk of friends that are only there for my affirmation. That's what you do. That's not me. Again, you're trying to you think that I'm you in some weird bizarro world where you're not. You're not going to be me. Don't think people don't notice that you're trying to imitate me. You don't know how many people have contacted me and told me that you try and imitate me. It's okay. I know you need a fucking idol. I know you need a daddy figure. I don't mind. But at least give me enough fucking credit to say that I've been somewhat consistent with my actions. And then when I haven't, I'll call myself out or accept correction when I haven't been. What they say? Do you agree that Tommy, that an onion in your sock is good for cancer? Oh my God. I believe that pineapples up asses are also good for cancer. That's a patented Tommy treatment.
We can all get together and we can all have our, wait a minute, we do have a neutral channel. Wait a minute. We got a neutral channel. It's called, hold on a minute. Blog Talk Radio.
Really?
Where the moderator won't have a bias on either side. And we'll both get fair.
Why are we going to a different platform ran by a Black Hebrew Israelite who gets offended when people curse? That's a neutral channel, G-Man. Why would we go to a platform that has less functionality? Are you fucking dumb? No, never mind. Forget I said that.
Time to talk, and we'll be able to make our arguments. If you're on Blog Talk Radio with me, Dragnauct, you will find out very fast, and I'm not the only person that believes that chemotherapy is more dangerous to your body than cancer itself is. And that most of the people that get cancer die of chemotherapy anyway. I might really die of cancer.
Actually, little known fact, folks, before I came to YouTube, I was actually on Blog Talk Radio. You'll actually, if you know which show I was on, you can easily find me. I think it was around 2011, 2012. Yeah, you'll find episodes where me and another guy had a show called The Barbershop. So we talked about a lot of things, some science, more social issues than anything else. But yeah, I'm actually very familiar with Blog Talk Radio. That's where I got my start. So thank you for the offer, but I'm not going to go to a Black Hebrew Israelites page or I should say, I'm not going to go to a platform with less functionality than YouTube to talk to you when I could just have a hangout here and have more functionality. I'm not like that makes no sense. I look, I tell you folks, I'm not trying to find these stills. I'm legitimately I just clicked the mouse where I hit the space bar and it just so happens to end on this shit. I swear to you I'm not trying to do this. But yes, Blog Talk Radio has a plethora of other idiots that believe the same stupid shit as G-Man. It really does. And you get them to call in and they say the most inane shit you can imagine. But let me remove this. So if you guys want a still of this particular frame, then very, very well, you have at it. This is the I'm serious face. Come on, guys, take me seriously.
I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but if you need a little bit of water, if you give me a minute, I can go to the kitchen and go get you some. Not that tap water that you believe is good for you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he said that these people believe that tap water is good for you. Not that tap water.
I said that? Really?
I will give you some pure, clean water that will actually help you live longer.
So what? I'm not trying to do this. No, every time we go grocery shopping, we buy bottled water because our tap water tastes like ass. So if you want to actually get my position straight, G-Man, we were laughing at the things that you said were in tap water and how they interact with you. Because G-Man would say shit like the chlorine that is that's diluted in the tap water. He says that can somehow like people under you guys know what chlorine gas is, right? Okay, chlorine gas is used in warfare to kill people or to maim them, whichever. He thinks that when you aerosolize the chlorine that's bound to the water, that it somehow like somehow can wrest itself from the water molecule and then combine with the other chlorine molecules and actually produce, like you can actually have that steam turn into chlorine gas at enough concentration to hurt you. Like that's some of the shit that he said. Now, mind you, having chlorinated water like at a certain concentration is bad for you. That's why you don't drink bleach or drink a diluted cup of bleach. But there's a certain amount that we put in pools because they act as I want to say bacterial static agents. I believe that's the proper term for fecal coliforms, and that's why they're used in water treatment plants because those fecal coliforms will kind of fuck you up. So he thinks that there's some type of weird chemical reaction where it will actually turn into dangerous chlorine gas. I mean, you know what? I'm surprised that he doesn't say that you could heat up table salt and turn it back into sodium and chlorine, and that if you put water, like you can inhale the chlorine and put water on the sodium, it'll fucking explode. Like I'm surprised he doesn't say that because that's on par with what he's suggesting in a previous video, and that's why I was laughing at him. So if he's going to at least point out where I've been laughing at him and what I've been laughing at him about, he should actually know exactly what I've said and what I've been laughing at.
Why you swallow that truth pill that chemotherapy is not the best way to go when you got cancer.
I don't think he knows what table salt's made of.
Balls in your court, drag boy. Now let's look in the
drag boy
live chat and see what people are saying here. Wait a minute, I don't have a live chat to look at.
I had shit set up.
I'll take any scientific questions anybody has about cancer. Live chat to look at.
You might want to pause that. You've been crying. Rub your eyes.
Why so many people watching this? This video is directed towards Dragnauct. I don't need to be here to watch this.
You made it live, and you put my fucking name in it.
I have the G podcast. I need to go watch that. That's more beneficial, I think.
Why wouldn't look? Are you fucking dumb? Really? Really? If you didn't want anyone to watch it, you idiot, make it fucking private or enlist it and send it to me. Like, you have my phone number. Like, it's stupid shit. And this is why I say he didn't understand what an open letter is. An open letter is meant to be read by other people. So if you're making a response to an open letter, why would you try to preclude people from listening or watching? It would help, G-Man, if you actually understood what shit was before you started commenting. That's usually where you fuck up. And this is another instance of you really not understanding shit and running your fucking mouth. But then again, I'm just some asshole. I'm just being mean.
You know, NES. I'm not mad at you. That's a funny one. G-Man, you're mad because Mel is a white woman and won't give you a second look.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, right? That was hilarious. Yeah, that was funny.
Because it's true.
Tommy Hall is right. Chemo is a
Tommy Hall is right.
For anyone who has cancer. So, cancer, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
What? Is he trying to say metastasis? Oh. Did he? Wow.
Okay, so let's see something here. You know what, Uncle Sam, that was hilarious. Yeah, that was something here.
Where was that at?
You know, NES. I'm not mad at you. That's a funny one. G-Man, you're mad because Mel is a white woman and won't give you a second look. Yeah, that was kind of funny, right?
Who was he talking to?
That was hilarious. Yeah, that was funny. Tommy Hall is right. Chemo is a death sentence for anyone who has cancer. So, cancer, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Tommy. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's 47 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm sorry, I will list that again. I'm sorry. I got with the closed captioning on.
For anyone who has cancer. So, cancer,
metastasis, you dumb bitch.
Okay, so let's see something here.
He knows about cancer, though.
You know what, Uncle Sam? I love white women, black women, Indian women. I love all kinds of women.
You don't love Shani?
For some reason, they think I only like white. I don't understand. I'm trying to understand the joke. I really am.
Because you have a weird obsession with white women. You act completely different. Dude, I was the one who pointed this shit out. Like, you don't act the same way. When there's a white woman in the room, you start behaving real motherfucking quick. And I mean real quick. And you start getting obsessive. Like, really obsessive about shit. Like, I mean, hey, if you claim that you don't, that's fine. But I'm not the only one who's noticed that. So, I get, but then again, we're asking G-Man to have some type of self-awareness. So I guess he thinks that he's hiding it and he's really not. But yes, he does have a girlfriend though. She's a lovely lady. She's a bit rotund, but she has a nice blue hue, and her name is Top Left Susie. She is the top left barrel you see in all of his videos. She makes prominent appearance, and you even see him rub her up every so often. Just grab you some.
I love all kinds of women, all kinds of sizes. So
you don't love Shani.
Hear that.
Shani came on to you hard. You rejected her.
106, you like Korean women.
Top left Suji.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I would screen share the questions that people are Yeah, true empiricism. You're right. In all seriousness, what is the point of Drag's channel? You're right. And Dragnauct, I like to put that question out there for you.
Oh.
Since I'm not doing anything and I'm not on your level, what is the purpose for your channel to exist? Why is it on YouTube? What are you hoping to accomplish by responding to every last video I make here on the internet? Oh, I know what you're trying to do. WWE and TNA. That's what you're trying to do.
Is that
you're
it?
Trying to be like the WWE.
If that's not projection, folks, I don't know what is. I'm not the one who went out and bought a WWE belt. A grown man who does nothing for a living but stack barrels went out and bought a WWE belt and makes quotes from fucking Bring It era of the WWE. So one of us here fits that description and the other does not.
That ain't never gonna happen. Because you're never gonna beat me, Dragnauct. I know that hurt. Chill out, relax. Anyway,
what?
So,
I'm never going to beat him?
Tony Hawk.
Is he serious, folks? Is he? I think he's like on the edge of a mental. Why the fuck would I want to beat him? What? Like, just let's think about this for a second. Literally, why in the fuck would I want to be a 40-year-old lonely codependent idiot? Like, what about his life is appealing? I'm dead fucking serious. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. What about his life is appealing to anyone? I'm genuinely curious. Did he say be or beat? I mean, I need a better scroll bar here. Okay, okay, here we go.
WWE and TNA. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to be like the WWE. That ain't never gonna happen. Because you're never gonna beat me, Drake.
Yeah, okay, you're never gonna be me. So no, he thinks I want to be him. So okay, thank you, closed captioning. Thank you. I just wow. So I'm literally at a loss for words as to why I would want to be a fucking star-nated fool whose only accomplishment is being a negative racial stereotype used for others' monetary gain and entertainment. You are absolutely right, G-Man. I will never be you. You are completely right. I will grant you that with a million, billion, quadrillion, like you say, applause, because that is just wow. I don't think that I've reached a low point in my life where I would be even close to G-Man. Like, if he's cornered the market on something, that is having a low standard for oneself. And so I don't think that I've reached. I consider some of the some of the places and some of the positions I've been in to be fairly low, but I understand that there are certain people who are homeless and who are tricking themselves out every other day just to survive. I know people like that, unfortunately, but there's I think even G-Man's place is, I guess, a step above that, sure. But man, wow. Okay. Hold on just a second. Like, I don't, wow. Like, what do you say to that? What do you say? What about his life looks appealing? Like, he obviously gets paid shit. He doesn't. Well, you want? I could sit here and play tit for tat. You know, I have a car, live in a pretty decent neighborhood now. My son goes to one of the best schools in the area. You know, my wife gets to work from home. I get to go to school full time, and then have a side gig where I get paid to help people with their schoolwork. You know, I think I have life pretty good. I have better than I had in the past. Not perfect, but I get to let my hair down, you know, now that I'm getting shit together after this move. But I don't. I I feel some type of way about comparing my life to his to that degree. Like, I'll compare it superficially, But when you really look at it, is there something specific about his life that I lack, or that, no, I can't even say that. Like, what, who would trade places with G-Man? Just think about that for a second. If you could take what you're doing, your profession, your knowledge, your location, everything, direction in life, whatever, would you replace that with G-Man? Really? Like, I don't know anyone who looks at his life and go, you know what, that guy he has it going on. He has his shit together. No one looks at G-Man and says that. Like, who, even his friends. That's what I want to know. That who, even amongst his friends, would Tom? Actually, this is a good question. Would Tommy trade places with G-Man in life? Because if he doesn't, if he says no, then why would he think I want to change places? Like someone who he's not, close to. So obviously there's something that it's something that he sees that I guess he thinks that other people are envious of or something. Yeah, I mean, maybe is there some type of, because if we're talking about fame, we're talking about real life fame. As I mentioned this before, I've actually had my picture on a billboard being advertised for the college that I used to go to. So if he wants to talk about fame, well, there's quite a few commuters who got to see me. And there's people who came into the store where I worked and they go, don't I know you from somewhere? I said, yeah. You went down the highway from Elkton, or I should say you came up the highway from Elkton and you saw my picture, didn't you? On that billboard for the school. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had quite a few people doing that. So, I mean, if that is something that I did for my mother, and I didn't do that for me. It started as a bet. And I was like, sure, why not? And it turned out to be something pretty cool that I could show my mother, and so she could be proud of. But I don't need that in my life. I get enough enjoyment, enough affirmation from the people that I help. Mind you, I am compensated for it, but that brings me more joy than anything else. So, shit. I've shown him that I've been on a billboard before. When it first happened, I brought it up. And actually, let me see if I can find y'all a picture real quick to show you what I'm talking about. Just for reference. Because if he wants to talk about, I guess, fame, I'm thinking that's what he means is his infamy. Because could you really call it fame? I think it's more like infamy. So there's a difference. But I think maybe in his mind they're the same thing. Fame, infamy. They're close, right? It's the same thing. You're famous, you're infamous. Where is that picture? Okay. And there it is. All right. Okay. So just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So this is me and my shit-eating grin. And this is on a highway, one of the major highways from Elkton, Maryland, going to northeast. Yeah, going towards northeast Maryland. And yeah, also heading towards Perryville. So it'd be going more inland from, if you're driving from Delaware to Maryland, going across Maryland. Yeah, it'd be going from, I think this was on I-10. I can't remember the name of the highway. But if he wants to actually compare, then compare with this. Like that's like, we want to talk about actual impact on people's lives. People paid money to put this up there, to see my black ass up here on the fucking billboard. People paid money to do that. So if you want to talk about impact, G-Man, then there you go. If you want to actually do that. So Yeah, you're absolutely right, G-Man. I will never be you. I will never reach that low point in my life, hopefully.
I know that hurt. Chill out, relax. Anyway, so Tony Hall says because chemotherapy doesn't address the cause, Christopher. Absolutely. Chemotherapy does not address the cause. You're right, NES. Wow, NES, we agreed twice. 8-bit NES says TNA stinks. You're absolutely right about that. You're right about that. And TNA is Dragnauct channel. It's total nonstop. It's total nonstop abomination.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, so evidence says I enjoy the attention. Dragnauct made a video, asked me to answer it. I respond to it. Evidence says I'm enjoying the attention.
It's true.
Evidence, say that again. I'm gonna block you.
He hit a nerve. Evidence for the win. Evidence says I'm doing it for the attention. You say it again, and I'm gonna block you. Evidence hit the nail on the fucking head. Bro, look, does his eyes look a little red to you guys? Man, Evidence hit a fucking nerve with that comment. He got threatened with the ban hammer with that one. Woo! Man, the truth hurts, doesn't it, man? Man, the truth hurts. It's just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it. You do like the attention. Don't pretend. Evidence was speaking the truth. It got under your skin. You couldn't deny it, so you got upset. Yeah, the fake laugh puts the fucking cherry on top. Like you went from that hysterical laugh to like complete serious in a heartbeat. Less than a heartbeat. You did a fucking 180 spin because of that comment. But that comment's, I mean, come on now. Like, why would you get so upset by that comment if it was false? Like if he was just lying, you could have laughed it off and said, okay, whatever. But you got upset. You were visibly upset by that. So it must be fucking true. It must have some true value to it. Come on.
So
upset. Oh.
Aries 106. You may have a specific question about cancer. From what cell type does?
Close.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me all that.
Read what was the rest of the question? Hold on. Let's see the rest of that question. Who asked him that question? Fuck. I forgot who he said. Fuck. Who said the question? Of course, my wife's in here trolling. Who asked him that question? Type of cell type. Damn. I don't see it. Was the answer melanoma? Oh. He's avoiding saying melanoma? Where is Max Trivium? Max Trivium, you get a wrench. Okay. So, hey, Max, you ever play whack-a-mole? Anytime Thicky shows up, drop him like he's hot.
They said Drag Channel is WWF 98 2000. No, it ain't. Drag Channel is boring. If he ain't talking about me or True, nobody's watching. Channel's boring. So
it's entertainment. There you go.
So anyway,
you would have thought that he would have realized by now that his antics provide fodder for my channel, and there's like 60, 70 people fucking watching it. So evidently there's some entertainment value. So if you weren't such a sideshow freak, I wouldn't have much of a channel. You ever think about that? You ever think about that, G-Man? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so B17 is not a vitamin. How do you know that? Are you going by the definition in the United States, or are you going in the definition by the whole world? Crow Mini Cloud says that it's not a vitamin. How do you know that?
Okay, now he's concerned with definitions.
Okay, so how do you know it's not a vitamin? According to who? The United States or any other country? How do you know this? I would love to rap battle Dragnauct, but Dragnauct doesn't know how to rap.
Exactly.
I got so many things I can say about Dragnauct.
Then say them. You don't need to rap. Just fucking say it.
He's one
Just
of the few atheists on here that I know enough about where I can just annihilate him.
fine.
Like I did Brett King.
Cool. Then just say it. You don't. Why do you need to put a shitty beat to
Here
it?
we go. Steve McRae says it isn't a vitamin because you do not need it for life.
It's one of the definitions.
That's why it's not a vitamin, really? Really?
Can you give us the definition?
Hey, Steve McRae, try that again, dude. That's horrible.
Okay, so can you give us the
By the way,
definition?
I heard you corrected Doc Savage about the whole water issue. Right?
Still waiting on that definition.
Steve McRae, that's wrong. Although, I got to admit, it's probably the most intelligent thing I've heard somebody say on my channel regarding this.
Most intelligent thing I've heard on your channel is silence when you forget to fucking turn your mic on. That's obviously the most intelligent thing that you've had to say ever. Like ever. That's actually True had a very, very similar performance where he sat and fucking talked to himself for 30 goddamn minutes and didn't realize that no one could fucking hear him. Everyone in the chat said the same thing too. It was so beautiful. I mean, it was elegant. Everything was articulated perfectly. I could understand every word, every syllable. It had the best context that I've ever espoused by an idiot that can't afford to fucking fix the hole. I mean, to come out of someone as elegant as him, of course. But unfortunately, that hangout is no longer around. But I think it was obviously one of the most informative sessions that True had ever had in his life. But I hope to look forward to many more accidental hangouts of that nature because they're very edifying, in my opinion. Very, very edifying.
Disagreement. What Saka was saying and what some of the other people were saying sounded like I was listening to like a little 2-year-old.
I mean, he does have a few kids, so.
Like, why do you guys give these guys any audience? Saka, you're lucky I'm even using your name on my channel these days. Because all you do is troll. Hence your YouTube name.
Okay, so if you guys have not figured out from Saka Count blatantly saying that he's a troll, G-Man has reiterated this and has labeled him a troll and has pointed to his name and his icon as evidence for it to add yet another cherry on top of the cherry that is the cherry on top. I sent G-Man a screenshot from the chat from last night, which says, and this was in Sam the Scientist's room, not mine. Drag, tell G-Man that Sokka says to eat a dick. So I sent that to G-Man. So he now has that. To which he has not replied to it, unfortunately, and that breaks my heart. But yes, so I did relay that message, and I should be very prompt, very, very prompt in relaying such messages because I know G-Man appreciates the attention that he receives from such individual situations. This is the look of being intently interested.
Somebody's asking an interesting question here. Would you have surgery to increase your height from 5'7" to 5'11" if you had high risk of cancer? I'm 5'11" already. Why would I want to risk increase my height?
I think it's a hypothetical.
I'm not really sure if that has anything to do with treating cancer. I have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure that was a hypothetical.
But you guys keep saying it's not a vitamin. Prove it.
Oh my God.
Hannah Anderson, I'm going to do that in a video request for you where I talk about what is a vitamin and what they do. I'll do that in a separate video.
Why don't you do that first?
That I'll do for you, Hannah.
Like you do everything ass backwards.
I will talk about that in a separate video, maybe as early as tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely on...
Well, today is tomorrow.
Tuesday, right?
Tomorrow's today.
TST tomorrow. You know what?
TST.
You know,
Wait. Whoa. He's not going to make the video today because TST is today. Now, correct me if I'm fucking wrong by this, but the only reason why you would not make a video or something when there's something else going on is because you want to attend that event. I could have fucking swore that this motherfucker said that TST isn't worth his goddamn time, or anyone's time for that matter. I cannot count on G-Man's brain cells how many times he said very disparaging things about our show. I cannot remember how many times. But yet he needs to save a block of time just for TST. Like that's a part of his fucking weekly recommended fucking recreation. So like that's how we like he says shit like this, and then he goes off later. Oh, nobody watches TST. He said he actually said at one time that that TST is dying or some shit like that, or no one watches JDK. And it's like, bitch, you watch it. You guys never talk about anything. I don't watch it. Like, how do you know we don't talk about anything if you don't watch it? Like, he keeps contradicting himself, and we keep calling him on it, and he gets upset. It's like, bitch, we know you watched the fucking show because you referenced the fucking show the next day. Come on. Like, do you like he assumes so often. So I'm spitting. He assumes all too fucking often that everyone else is just clueless as he is. Like that's if there's a fatal flaw that all these guys share, and I said this before, they assume that everyone is as dumb as they are, and that we don't remember the shit that he says. But he forgets it. So I mean, once he says it, it's fucking gone. Yes, what was that one movie, Memento, I think, where the guy forgets shit after every like 2 minutes or something? That's G-Man. Oh my goodness. You see my post where I challenge man to prove he has a degree. You know what, Bob? If he shows it, man, I'd be surprised. Like I would be genuinely surprised because I've actually shown my little degree from Cecil. Because I think Shani was saying that I didn't have it, and that rubbed Mrs. Drag the wrong way because she knows how hard I worked to get on the president's list and to get that. Well, I accidentally got that degree, but I was actually working on another one. But you know, went and dug it out, and I was like, "Yep, there it is. See my full name and everything." But I don't talk about it because I don't actually consider that associate's degree to be of any worth. I got it because I've been going to school for fucking ever. So if G-Man wants to just put this shit to rest, he could do a few things. He could stop talking about it. He could just show the degree, and that would clear up a lot. Actually, you know, he sent me some text messages last night about this. Of course. So let me read it. Wow, and oh, I forgot. This looks like this is all one. This is all one sentence. Yeah, that's kind of strung together by ellipsis. Wow, you guys are liars, ellipsis. I didn't say I did 2 years at Rutgers, ellipsis. I got my nutrition degree from there, ellipsis. But keep lying, ellipsis. You guys are good at that, ellipsis. At least Tommy Hall tells the truth, unlike you, exclamation point. So I said, okay, it'd help if you were consistent with your claims. And he says, again, your hearing is bad, ellipsis. You are a liar, exclamation point. And so I responded, if we aren't hearing the right thing, then the intention to lie isn't there. I think you don't know the difference between being a liar and being mistaken. And so he says, I think I do, ellipsis. I also think you are doing it on purpose to deceive others, exclamation point. I said, I'd probably not say that I could be wrong if I was trying to fool people. And he responds, I responded to your letter. Respond to my challenge. I said, yeah, I may watch it later. I just got out of a hangout. So, and that's the last thing. He hasn't actually read that yet because I get a notification when he actually reads my messages. So that's the exchange that I had with Sir Fucks It a lot last night, and he was adamant that I was trying to fool people, and I'm like, you said, and this comes up very often. He doesn't keep his story straight. And then everyone's confused as to like what should, because he said 2 years. He said there was Fairleigh Dickinson University. Now it's Rutgers, and now it's something else. It's like when people actually go and look up this stuff, it doesn't make sense. So I don't think he has a fuck. Well, my personal opinion, I could be wrong. Let me say that because he'll forget that I keep saying this. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has a fucking degree because I don't think he can sit still long enough and learn. That's just me. Like I just after meeting him, after knowing him for a few years, I don't think he has the ability to, like, physically or mentally, I don't think he can actually sit down, learn, and regurgitate and actually expound upon information. Like, I really don't think he has that capability. So, so Bob says, I told him I'd delete my YouTube channel if he could prove he has a degree. Yeah, there you go. You know what? That's out there. He likes to, like, threaten like a I quit match. He likes to do that, so that should catch his attention. So we'll fucking see. There's 5 minutes left in this shit show, and after that, I'm probably gonna go make me some pancakes or something. It must be nice to not do your job and to fuck around the internet.
You know, I don't have that many degrees. I'm pretty honest about my education. I got 2 years of college and that's it.
Okay, now it's 2 years of college. Okay, so here's the confusion. Here's the confusion, because if you have a degree and you've done 2 years, the inference is that you've done an associate's degree that requires 2 years of coursework, and that was toward the nutrition degree. Okay, so if you're wondering why people may be getting confused here, G-Man, because your shit's not consistent, because Rutgers doesn't have a 2-year fucking degree. People wouldn't look it up.
My self-esteem is not attached to how many years of college I have.
Mine isn't either. I'm the same Dragnauct before I started going to school.
Says that I have a degree in stacking blue
barrels. Aries, you win comment of the fucking day. He does have a degree in stacking blue barrels. You are absolutely right, Aries.
06 has left the building.
He's upset.
So anyway, let me see something here. I thought that was a little disrespectful.
Oh, what you do?
Your channel, Aries. I've removed you permanently.
Oh.
I think Steve McRae and who's the other person that asked me? Hannah, Steve McRae, and I think one other person was the only people on here, I think, that gave me an intelligent rebuttal to my vitamin B17 argument.
You can't spell intelligent rebuttal.
Else? Nicholas H says, G-Man, you have 0 degrees. Nicholas H, you got to prove that in order for that to stick. Or I might consider that slander or a lie. And I have to block you.
Well, here's the look at that. The issue, G-Man, is that you've made a claim and that people are calling bullshit on it because you've not provided evidence for it. I think this is something G-Man has struggled with for quite some time. You make a claim, it's up to you to provide evidence for it. You say you have a degree, it's real easy to fucking pull up the piece of paper and put it on camera. All right? If you're not doing that and people are going, you know, I don't buy it, I don't see the evidence for it, it's not up to someone else to provide evidence you don't. Like, you have a hard time really understanding that. Maybe if you sit down and do some reading, you may just come across this thing called the burden of proof, because you reference it, but I don't think you actually sit down and read anything. So I
will do that, Hannah, in a separate video. Might even think about doing a health seminar on this channel.
A health seminar, all right.
Whatever, Nicola H. Whatever you tell yourself, whatever.
Shit, I'm trying to see what Nicholas says. A diploma is not a degree. A certificate is not a degree. You have no degrees.
I think he's using the technical word for B17. Steve McRae, try again. Let me see something here. Makes sense.
Amygdala? Yeah, he's talking about amygdala.
Vital for life. Rap battle freestyle gold.
Does anybody notice a little change in his voice? His eyes seem a little watery, a little red. Does anybody else notice that? Just me? Okay.
Your word is B17.
Oh, maybe he's just muttering to himself.
Think. Beat down your cancer with B17.
Just stop it.
Oh, by the way.
Just stop it.
on my main channel, I'm going to be rewarding you knucklehead atheists on my main channel.
Rewarding.
It's a very entertaining video. I got to start working on it though, because I got my 10,000 subscribers. I actually forgot to do that on. I forgot 2 things on the G podcast today.
Man, it's hard having no real life goals. Man, shit. Like he seems so disappointed. Like this is the highlight of this man's life, is making a YouTube video for reaching a certain number of subscribers. He's acting like he gets paid for this shit. Like that's sad. That's when you know you don't have a life.
I might have to make another video right after this one. Actually, no, I'll make it in a couple of days. I think Dragnauct is just mad because he's looking at his wounds because of that debate loss he had on my YouTube channel.
What was it?
About evolution.
Oh, God.
Debate somebody on that topic again. If any of you actually know anything about the topic of evolution, you guys know anything about it, I'm willing to debate you on the topic.
I lost that debate. Okay. Oh, shit. I thought I was playing it.
I have a nutrition degree.
Okay, now.
What's your point? It's not hard to get one. You can go get one yourself. I got mine from Rutgers University.
You fat finger in the fucking key. Hold on just a second, folks.
Hi, my name is Virginia Quick. I am the interim DPD director here at Rutgers University. Unfortunately, I will be on maternity leave until the end of June.
Shit.
For any immediate emergencies, please contact our administrative assistant in our Department of Nutritional Sciences. His name is Kevin McCarthy, and his phone number is 848-932-0975. If you have any questions,
Hold on just a second, folks.
You've reached Kevin McCarthy at the Department of Nutritional Sciences and the Graduate Program in Nutrition.
I'll probably edit that out, but yeah. So we're gonna see about that particular claim that he just made, and I'm gonna call him on that. I'm gonna fucking call him on that, since he says that everyone's lying. And I'm genuinely curious now. So let me go ahead and finish up the rest of this video.
No, I'm not gonna answer it live, Steve. I'm gonna make an official video about it. Because if I make a mistake, you guys will make a million videos about my mistake. I'm gonna make an official video about it. I might even use the old intro. Yeah, as soon as Fiona shows me her PhD.
We've seen Fiona's PhD.
I said I was going to make an official video, Nathan. Now you're being dishonest. So anyway, nothing to talk about in the live chat. You guys are just name calling at this point. So, so you want me to prove I had 2 years of college, Nicola? No, I'm not going to do that, Nicola.
Yep, we don't want to provide evidence for it. There we go. Reject the claim.
And honestly and truthfully, the reason why a lot of you atheists fail when you guys talk to me here online, because you guys underestimate me. You come into these conversations swearing I don't prepare, swearing I don't read, and then you end up looking bad. And there's video after video after video on YouTube, and you guys getting humbled because you guys swear I don't know anything. That's why you end up looking dumb later in the conversation with me. If for crying out loud, you got Arnold Raw and Steve McRae still walking around here believing that Mormons are Christians and whatnot. And they actually believe that garbage. They actually believe what they're saying is true. So, and I never forgot that, Steve. You're lucky you're even able to leave a comment here. So, after that, yeah.
Still butthurt.
So I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. This is my answer to Dragnauct. I humored the audience a little bit. Dragnaught, I know I was talking kind of fast in this video, but hopefully you'll understand the words that was coming out of my mouth. At the end of the day, sir, don't sit on here talking about someone not doing nothing and Tommy isn't doing nothing when you can't prove none of it. All right? I feel like you're disrespecting yourself. I believe you're more intelligent than that. And I think that you deserve a little bit more credit than making yourself look the way you make yourself look today. Right? So, just want to put that out there in my next video, guys. I might not be talking about cancer. Get ready for the HIV stuff. GT.
He cut himself off too soon. Man, never seen Fiona's PhD. Never seen it. Nope, never seen it. Okay, so now that we've got G-Man lying again, which he says he never does, I'm going to end it here, folks. Stay tuned for fucking TST today. It's going to be very interesting and sad, too. It's going to be really sad. Very, very sad. So on that note, folks, I will catch y'all later.